Cut that shit. Cut it. That's good. That's good. Cut that shit. My amp unit. Let me get you guys on the big screen up in here, man. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, now you're going to run ads on my channel? Josh from forward.com? How about get the fuck out of here, you stupid little bitch.com? How's that? You're going to run fucking ads now. Now you choose to run ads when BC's talking to his unit. Now you want to run ads on my channel. Fuck out of here. Anyway. What up, unit? I'm all out of my fucking coffee. I just realized it. Made a fucking mess on the way over here. I got fucking coffee all over fucking the top of the dome piece. All over the lid, all over BC. I think I got 3/4 of it, but don't worry. The coffee's done, but I always got more. You guys make sure of that. I got a whole fucking iced coffee from the fine folks at Dunkin' Donuts. We're ready to rock, don't worry. Always got fucking coffee. You see the warning, warning, warning. No stupid people allowed beyond this point. Do you see that shit? Or do I need to fucking fix it? Get my fucking C out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Ah. There you go. Now you can see it. Warning, no stupid people allowed. Bring that fucking down. Can you see that? Beyond this point. Fuck is happening? We are live. There's no telling what's going on here now. Get down. Get down. Can you see that? You can't see the beyond this point. What the fuck is happening? Beyond this point. Can you see that? Yes. Hey, there it is. We got it, folks. This is fucking live. As if you could... There's no fucking edits right now. Warning, no stupid people allowed beyond this point. So if you're thinking this is your normal channel and we're just going to talk about our feelings in pro wrestling, no. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. This is about what is right and wrong in pro wrestling. This is about facts. I don't care about feelings. I don't care what you like in pro wrestling, what you don't like in pro wrestling. This isn't social media. You don't have 140 characters to tell me what the fuck you're feeling because I don't give a fuck. This is about facts. This is about making pro wrestling better. Whew. As you can tell, we've had a lot of coffee already. Again, don't worry. I got more for you guys. And a little programming note. This might not be the only live stream tonight. I might do the first hour of Monday Night Raw live reaction. So be on the lookout, man. There's a possibility that I'll be live with you guys, 8 p.m. Eastern time, for the first hour of Monday Night Raw live reaction and review. Either way, I'll be with you guys within the next 24 hours for the full 3-hour review anyway. Now, first I want to talk about, well, I'm going to get to these releases, man. We thought over the last year, over what happened, how many releases that WWE put out there, we thought this year they're gonna take it easy, right? They're gonna take a year off from looking like a douchebag company. Not only is that not the case, I'm hearing that this year's post-WrestleMania releases and cuts is going to be the largest in company history. Now, this isn't just rumor anymore. I've sat on this for about 2 weeks now. My people down in Florida, who know a hell of a lot more than BC knows, they get a lot more info. And it's my job to decipher what I think is just rumor, which is what we never talk about, and what actually is starting to hold weight on. What is actually gaining merit? This story, over the last 2 weeks alone, everything that my people are hearing in that company, people in that company, and I quote, are on high alert over what is to come. I'm hearing that at least 10 names on Monday Night Raw are on the chopping block. I'm actually going to go over these names. I don't know who exactly would get released. Some of these befuddle me, but I shouldn't be shocked, nor should you be. And there's 6 SmackDown names. We're going to go over all of this in just a little bit. But again, this is no longer just rumor. This is starting to carry its own weight on its back. It's taken on a life of its own, and my people are hearing now from people in that company, they're, and I quote, on high alert. What the fuck does all this mean? We're going to talk about it. And that's going to lead us to Mickie James, a release in 2021, and she's coming back for the Royal Rumble, and she's gaining a whole lot of heat from wrestling fans. Well, we're going to talk about it. Trust me, we're going to talk all about this Mickie James shit. This has nothing to do with the future releases, by the way. This is a one-time deal for Mickie at Rumble. But these releases further cement what BC told you all along, man. They're setting up to sell the company. This is obvious. You look at them gutting NXT. This is not because Vince has a personal vendetta against Triple H. It may seem that way, I understand. But look at Triple H. He just did his first interview in 3 months, just last week, for the NIL program, Next in Line. He's talking about promoting Vince's shit, promoting all the new recruits. He's going to be working with the NXT brand again next month. Triple H is not fucking hurt by this. Relax. This was never a personal vendetta. They gutted NXT because they revamped it so it's more sellable. It's going to be colorful. There's going to be all these corporate yes men. So when Vince sells, NXT is a presentable brand to sell as well. This is all strategic business for Vinnie Mac. So these mass releases that are going to take place after WrestleMania, this goes with everything BC has told you from day one. I told you I wouldn't steer you wrong. I told you I knew what the fuck was going on the second that Vince McMahon brought Nick Khan in. Because all these releases, it's not personal vendetta against Triple H. This is Nick Khan strategically placing Vince McMahon up for the best possible sales position imaginable. We're going to talk all about it, man. But these releases, the biggest, the largest amount of releases in company history is going to be in about 82 days, right after WrestleMania. Don't be shocked when it happens. You heard it here first, and we're going to go over some names as well. That's all still to come. The Mickie James heat, I want to talk about that. Cody Rhodes talking about the dumbest decision he ever made so far in AEW or his wrestling career was just last month. We're going to go over that and why these spots need to fucking stop. And we're going to go over, first and foremost, I have to talk about this, man. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins this weekend in Boston. Breaking character in Roman Reigns' case, totally shattering his character and totally putting the final nail in the kayfabe coffin. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, let me start off with Roman Reigns. Because what he did this weekend, you just can't do that. And some of you are thinking, well, BC, what he did was nice, man. He did a very nice thing, and he told Boston to stay safe and just take care of one another. And he said, good night, everybody. What's wrong with that, BC, given the times? Because it's professional fucking wrestling. And he is your top motherfucking heel. And because you have failed, Vince, to create any top superstar in that company, your fucking biggest heel has to play the role of what the face should be saying. Hulk Hogan in the 80s should be saying that shit. Maybe a super face Stone Cold should be saying that shit. You can't possibly have a fucking Rock of 22, or a fucking Rock, Roman of 2022 saying this shit. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this. It's kind of muffled. This was live event fucking recording, but I want to play this for you. This is Roman Reigns having a heartfelt message with Boston after the show. Thank you guys, Boston, for coming out.
We all know what's going on globally with this pandemic. I just want y'all to stay.
We all know what's going on in the world with this pandemic. I just want you to let you all know that I'm with you. I want you all to get home safe, he says. I want you to protect yourselves. And I can't wait to see you next time. Also, good night. Thank you, Boston. His music hits, half the crowd's like, yeah, the other half is like, what? That's not Roman. That's not the tribal chief. What the fuck has happened to professional wrestling? Gone are the days, I understand, of people chasing Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen out of the building, ready to fucking destroy them, ready to fucking throw baseball bats at them, fucking stab them, who the fuck knows? Gone are those days. Gone are the days where Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, who were best friends back in the day, they would take separate transportation to the arena. They would stay at different hotels. A lot of times they would stay in different towns because that's how real it was for them. And that's how important it was to keep kayfabe alive. That's how important it was to tell your story even when you weren't on television or in a live town. I understand gone are those days, bro. Kayfabe is all but dead, especially with social media. You'll be seeing an amazing angle take place between two son of a bitches, a real full throttle rivalry, and then you'll see a picture posted of those same two dudes at dinner that night, eating a steak. And you're like, well, I just saw Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Why are they eating steak together? I just saw Roman versus Brock in a heated rivalry. Now they're eating steak together. Now they're at Chuck E. Cheese's going through the fucking pitball. Fucking the ball of fucking the pit of balls, like the McDonald's playground, and there's fucking Brock Lesnar coming down the slide into Roman Reigns' arms. I don't want to see this shit on social media, but this is the day and age that we're living in. Okay, see, we can choose not to go on social media. That's the cool thing. Okay, I can live in my own little pro wrestling bubble and make believe that this rivalry is still ongoing for the next week and the next week and so on. But when you show up to the live fucking crowd and you play the sentimental favorite, you play the character of I'm with you, I hear you, we're all in it together, drive home safe, be careful, put on your masks, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for coming out. That is beyond your top star, your top face promo. That's beyond that. That's the sentimental favorite that you want to cling to. The problem is, I don't give a fuck about Bob Saget right now. I'll get to Bob Saget later. I'm talking about something important, and you guys are talking about Bob Saget? I'm having a fucking heartfelt discussion. I look on my screen. R.I.P. Bob Saget. Bob. Hey, BC, can you shut up for a second? I'm talking about Bob Saget. Fucking A, did you come here to talk about Bob Saget? Fuck. Bob fucking Saget. You want to talk about, okay, I won't talk pro wrestling. Let's talk about Bob Saget. Okay, he was on the Full House. We loved him growing up. He was the 80s. R.I.P. Betty White. R.I.P. John Madden, R.I.P. Bob Saget. Okay, it comes in threes usually. That sucks. I hear ya. Whatever happened to the disability? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Everywhere you go, everywhere. It's a heart, a reason to love you. I get it. I get it, bro. Who the fuck just told me to get the fuck out of here? Tell me to fucking relax on my fucking channel when it's literally called Amplified? Stop your shit. Beasley, stop being amplified, man. Stop it. Oh my God, you're making me cry, Beasley. Don't get amplified. Don't get amplified on your channel, Mr. Beasley. Fuck are you, what? Did you fucking tell me how much coffee I can drink or how loud I can get or what the fuck I want to talk about? Or how amplified I want to fucking be? The fuck is going on today with this fucking channel? People telling me to calm down on my channel. Calm down, Measley. I didn't think you'd be this amplified. I got people talking fucking Bob fucking Saget. I get it. It's sad. Maybe I'll bring him up later on. Deal? Can I get back to Roman motherfucking Reigns for a second? You can't do this as a top heel, the fucking heel in this company. You cannot go and give a hoorah, we're all in this together, thanks for coming out, we love you, Boston, see you next time, good night speech. You can't fucking do that if your name is Roman Reigns. It's fucking impossible to do that. You can't do it. I don't give a fuck how the message is. Or if it's a good message, basically. He's not the one that should be delivering it. This is a classic mistake that Vince McMahon has made for years. He has no other top faces in the company. He has not one face that can go out there and deliver this fucking message with any substance behind it. Because he ruins people like Bobby Lashley when they're champion. He ruins people like Big E when they're champion. He ruins people like Kofi Kingston when they're champion. You can't build a mid-card title champion either. Just look at Shinsuke Nakamura, or you can go to the women's for Asuka. They're placement holders with the championship. They're no more than fucking prestigious than a toy championship at Target or Walmart. So you have your top fucking heel cutting this shit in Boston. And he's probably going to do this every live event going forward. He's going to play the hoorah speech guy. But he's the tribal chief. The leader in the island of relevancy. He's the one who tells the crowd to acknowledge him. Shut up if they don't like what he's doing or saying. He surrounds himself with people like Paul Heyman and the Usos. Last I checked, all heels. They can't even book Brock Lesnar properly in this company. They bring him back as a face, Farmer Brock. He's actually getting some cheers. And then they put him right back with Paul Heyman, and 50% of the audience doesn't know if he's heel or face anymore. They can't even have Brock do this type of hoorah speeches anymore. You have nobody. You have nobody, so all you're doing is you're confusing the fuck. You're mind-boggling your own fan base. BC was mortified when I came across that Roman Reigns video. Mortified. That this is what I feel so bad for younger professional wrestling fans, because this is all they know. I don't even know if they truly know how bad wrestling has become. I think they know it's bad because they do listen to smart people like BC. But I don't think they truly know how bad pro wrestling is today. Because they grew up with social media. They grew up with kayfabe being dead. They grew up with faces kind of being heels and vice versa. They grew up in the John Cena era, which bled into the Roman Reigns era, which is 50-50 reception, right? Half the fans are cheering you, half the fans are booing you, and you're clogging both avenues, man. You're on the highway clogging up all the lanes. The next top face can't get by you because you're clogging that. But the next top heel can't get by either because you're clogging that lane too. You're playing the role of face and heel. And we saw with John Cena for over 10 years that nobody could get by him. Even if it was unintentional, John Cena was holding motherfuckers down. You can't play the role of both. But today's wrestling fan is so used to it. Today's wrestling fan is saying, BC, I see no problem with what Roman Reigns did. He's just giving a nice message and saying goodnight to everybody. I could not imagine a top heel growing up in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and beyond. I could not imagine the top heel giving that type of speech in Boston. Telling everyone, thank you for coming out. Can't wait to see you again. Good night, everybody. Stay safe. I'm with ya. This is Roman motherfucking Reigns. How does people don't have a fucking problem with this? I understand kayfabe is all but dead. And with it, pro wrestling is right there on life support as well. But this, you cannot do this, man. You have to have somebody else in that company deliver that speech at the end of the night. This is where we are in pro wrestling. In the same fucking night, Seth Rollins basically turned face. You could say it's for this one feud because he's taken on Roman, BC. You could say it was this one night, BC. But he came out, he got jumped by the Usos, he super kicked both the Usos, and then he played to the crowd while he stomped on the mat like Shawn Michaels used to do. Burn it down! Burn it down! And he played to the crowd, and he delivered a stomp to Jimmy and Jay, and then he got up on the turnbuckle, and Seth Rollins got the hero applause, and he even applauded the crowd. Seth Rollins, one of your dastardly heels this year. Just because he was announced as Roman's Roman's number one contender because WWE had no fucking plan. Roman got the co. Roman got the 19. Brock Lesnar was thrusted impromptu style to take Big E's title when it was supposed to be Seth Rollins who was going to win it. So then Rollins got booted over to the blue brand, which doesn't make sense because it's heel versus heel. And now Roman is playing the face all of a sudden. And Seth Rollins is also playing the face. So two heels in one night are now playing the face. You can't make this shit up. I'm the only one going to talk about it in the community because I'm the only one with common sense and logic, it seems. But I'm not going to let this slide. This is absolute bullshit to the uttermost scientifically proven treacherous and tragic of measures. Not only is Roman Reigns delivering the face promos of all face promos last night, or in Boston this weekend, but Seth Rollins also turns face to Boston. How do you fucking comprehend this? You can't. Even if you say one of them should be playing face leading into the Rumble because they're both heel, that still wouldn't make any sense because both have been dastardly heels throughout 2021. So it still wouldn't make sense to even turn one. But in one night, Boston is leaving with both of them playing to the crowd. And of course, this will be all over fucking social and all over YouTube, and we're going to see this. And you're confusing the fuck out of your crowd. This isn't just breaking character. This is shattering your character. And everything that you tried to build. Pro wrestling is fucking dead because the wrestlers, it's not just Vince McMahon, the wrestlers are helping to kill it every day on social media. Post after post in 140 characters. And then you add in WWE Vince McMahon's erratic, illogical, reckless booking. And it's a recipe for disaster, a recipe to poison WWE from within and help to kill professional wrestling. Social media helped to ruin professional wrestling right there with Vince McMahon. It is a deadly combination that is killing pro wrestling. And what Vince did this weekend, because he has no idea what to do with Rollins versus Roman. This was not the original plan. He panicked. He did some erratical, reckless bullshit. And now we have somebody plucked from the red brand who just had his shot at the title, was supposed to win it. Things got fucked up. So he, television-wise, from our perspective, he lost. You got to go to the beginning of the line. And what's his consolation prize? He gets to go to the blue brand and now go for that title. None of it makes sense. But on top of that, you don't even know what to do storyline-wise with the two. You can only tell the story the next 2 weeks of they were former Shield members. Because none of this makes sense. And now they're both playing face. I am fucking numbed by this. This is absolutely catastrophic to the highest degree and levels. I am mortified by what is happening. Faces are no longer faces, heels are no longer heels, and Vince doesn't give a fuck. And the sheep out there, the sheep that pay money to go to these events, they don't give a fuck either. I just want to scream. Save yourself some money and go to Chuck E. Cheese. You'll probably see Roman and Brock there anyway, posting dinner together, posting in the fucking pit of misery in the ball pit. There's Roman and Brock, posting for their social media pages. There's the Usos in the New Day having a fucking grand old time over their grilled cheese sandwiches and potato chips. Mortified by what has happened to pro wrestling. Back in the day, you protected your heel status. You protected that face status. You were proud of it. You didn't blur the lines just because it was convenient for whatever city you were in, or whatever show you were on, or whatever message you wanted to deliver. Nothing makes sense anymore and nothing matters in WWE. Salute to my AM unit. That was my amplified unit. That was an amplified cold open for the first half an hour-ish. Thank you for sticking with me, man. I know that was extra amplified, but I had no fucking choice. That shit pisses me the fuck off. When you totally annihilate kayfabe, character-wise, storyline-wise, feud-wise, match-wise. You don't annihilate kayfabe. That's why I love FTR and what they have been doing this whole last year, man. Paying homage to the Midnight Express, basically doing their theme song. Homage to the 1980s. You listen to FTR's theme song. You listen to how they act in their interviews and on their social media. You look at MJF, always in character. AEW has it right, man. There's some in AEW that use social media the dumbass way. But AEW at least gives a fuck more. Woo! Man, we got some supers coming in, man. I'll get to you guys at the end of this, I promise you, man. But I know I got hundreds here live that want to keep rocking. I know there's going to be thousands when I put this up on the channel. Thousands of people will be coming in. They want to hear all the amplification now, so I'm going to give them to it right now. I want to move on to this, the largest cuts in WWE history is set to take place in less than 3 months. Now, this is what I'm hearing. This is no longer just a rumor, guys. I want to make that clear. This isn't confirmed. I don't have Nick Khan on speed dial. I haven't personally talked to Nick Khan, so I can't confirm nothing. But this is way more than rumor now. You guys know how I rock with the people that I have down in Florida that know way more than BC. If it's just a rumor, I'll never report on it. I'll never talk about it. When it starts to gain steam and my people are hearing more and more from people in the company, they're doubling down. The people in that company, this is a quote that I heard. They're on high alert for what's to come, cut-wise, around WrestleMania. Just after. High alert is the exact phrase that I heard. So now I'm going to talk about it. Because again, now it's being doubled down on. Not just cuts. If you guys thought that because of 2021, Nick Khan, Vince, they were just going to take a year off so the company doesn't look like that much of a douchebag company, you're wrong. Not only is there going to be cuts, I am hearing the largest cuts in company history. They're going to rip the Band-Aid clear off. They're not going to drag it out within 3 to 4 separate cuts like in 2021. They just want to get it all done right after April, rip the Band-Aid off, get the bad publicity, and be ready for the sale whenever and if ever anybody comes calling. That's what we're hearing. 82 days away is WrestleMania. Ish, 82, 83, something like that. It's Saturday night, I believe, is day 1, Sunday night, day 2, April 3rd, 4th, something like that. So 82 days, we'll say. Within about a week or two afterwards, if even, that's where we usually see these mass cuts, right? It's the post-WrestleMania release party, and ain't nobody wants to go to that party ever. That's the one party nobody wants to RSVP to. You guys remember in 2020 when this whole pandemic started just a couple years ago, everyone thought, oh, they're gonna put away the cuts. They're not gonna do releases. No, in 2020, just 2 years ago, Kurt Angle was released. Rusev was released. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Drake Maverick, Eric Young, EC3, Kurt Hawkins, Leo Rush, Heath Slater, Aiden English, Sarah Logan, Primo, Epico, Eric Rowan, Mike and Maria Kanellis, Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno, Curtis Axel, referee Mike Chioda, and a plethora of others. That was just 2 years ago. Now, in 2021, last year, another year of the pandemic, everybody said because of 2020, we know for sure there's not going to be any releases. Well, what happened in 2021, guys, right after Mania? Samoa Joe released, Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, Mickie James, Mojo Rawley, Kalisto, Chelsea Green, Bo Dallas, Wesley Blake, Tucker, and a plethora of others. And that was just round one of eventually 4 rounds last year. Over 80 professional wrestlers on the actual roster and over 150 employees from Stamford, Connecticut. At that point in time, it was the largest cut release that WWE has ever performed in one calendar year. This year is supposed to trump that. So now we go with the names. Right now, this is all subjective. This is just the compilation that BC has put together based on who I heard this from. Reputable motherfuckers down in Florida that I always go through my info. And if you guys wonder how I'm so right all the time, can't say all the time. There was a couple of times that plans changed. But most of the time, BC is right. It's because of these people. It's not because I have Nick Khan on speed dial or I know some Sean Ross sap shit. No. I just have some good people down in Florida. They actually get to talk to people in that company. And BC's usually right. These are the names that right now are on the chopping block. Of course, anything can change. Some of these names are going to just blow your dome piece. Some of these names, you could see this obviously is going to be the case. I'll start with Raw because there is, I believe, 10 names up front on the chopping block. 6 names on the SmackDown chopping block. So for Monday Night Raw, Chad Gable is a front runner to see his way to the door. Not the forbidden door, the brick wall door. Right through the fucking brick wall. Chad Gable. How do you fuck up Chad Gable, by the way? The guy's one of the best wrestlers in the world. All you gotta do is give him a little bit of fucking effort into his booking. He'll take you the rest of the way. But fucking Chad Gable. Also on the chopping block for Raw is tag team partner Otis. I don't know how the fuck they managed to screw this guy up. He wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. Vince tells him he's got to go back to NXT because he just doesn't like anything about him. He comes back as this mean mugging heel, and he still gets nothing. Some tag team wins over the RK Bro after RK Bro has already beat them individually and in a tag team. Chad Gable and Otis, both on the chopping block for Raw. 2 of the 10 names. Ricochet, I think that's evident. He's been a bona fide jobber since he basically got to the roster. It's sad. It's a shame that has to come to that. But Ricochet is clearly on the chopping block. Who else am I hearing, man? Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. They knew the writing was on the wall. They were cut from the Hurt Business. They're probably happy as fuck they even lasted another year afterwards. But Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, obviously. Now, here's a name that might shock you. This is what I'm hearing, bro. Finn Balor. Finn motherfucking Balor. Now, this has to be a scenario where he had too much money on the back end. Because there's no way that you would just get you could give him anything, especially with that demon character, and it's going to be money. But we saw with his booking lately that it's been so ebb and flow, so up and down, so 50-50, more than usual, that when I heard the name, half of me was shocked, the other half of me was like, what? You're hearing Balor? And this dude's like, I'm hearing Balor. So I'm just reporting what I'm hearing, man. Finn Balor's one of these names on the Raw brand that is on the chopping block. Nikki Ash is on the chopping block. This may shock you because she changed her whole character for Vince in hopes that she wasn't going to get released. It bought her another year, and now she's on the chopping block. Robert Roode. That should not be that much of a shock. Now, interestingly, Dolph was not on this list that I obtained. So they look at Dolph like a lifer, I think. Robert Roode, it's a shame they look at Robert Roode as just a jobber, not even glorified. Take him or leave him, they can leave him. But Dolph Ziggler was not on this list, guys. Not like Cedric and Shelton, they kind of came together. Her business style. The Dirty Dogs, I did not get a list with them on it. I only got fucking Robert Roode. Dolph Ziggler seems to be a lifer. But Robert Roode is on the chopping block. T-Bar. You talk about tragic. I know you're thinking BC, it's T-Bar. Of course he's on the chopping block. No, this kind of surprises me that he never got a real chance. I thought after all of this Retribution thing fell apart, and you already got rid of the fucking slap nutses and the Mia Yims. Mia Yim got done dirty. Mace goes over to fucking SmackDown, whatever. Okay, now T-Bar can finally be Dominic Dijakovic. No, instead, it looks like he's just on the fucking chopping block. He's just getting Das Boot. And then get this name. This is the biggest shocker for BC, but again, it shouldn't be. Veer. Veer is still on his way to Raw. It's going to be hilarious, but tragic when he finally gets there and he's told at the door he's got to go back. This guy, it took 4 months to get to Raw by the time he's released. He's going to have to get there and turn right back around and take the next 4-month journey just to get back home. This is the type of shit they did with Malachi Black, Alistair. They kept him home for 7 months. They finally gave him a storyline. In mid-storyline, they told him to go home. Elias was told he's going to do this new gimmick change, and then they told him just to sit home. I wouldn't doubt if Elias is also on the chopping block, but he was not on the list that I received. I'm going to say that again. Elias was not on the list, but I would not be shocked if he becomes on the list within the next 3 months. But Veer's on the list. Now, I don't think there was a video package last Monday. So maybe they're already in the works to tell Veer he's getting the boot. I don't think there was a video package for Veer last week. So maybe that does make a little bit more sense. Maybe his video package will come back this week. Maybe he's back on his way. But Veer is on this list. I can't fathom what was all the vignettes for. And I wouldn't doubt that they play another one by accident. Tonight, they accidentally bring it back because last week they didn't have it. But Veer is on this list for the Raw brand. So again, I'm going to say this again. For the Raw brand, on the chopping block for the releases, right after WrestleMania, Chad Gable, Otis, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, Finn Balor, Nikki Ash, Robert Roode, T-Bar, and Veer are all on the chopping block. This was the list that I received. People in that company are not high on. That would also be the indicator of why Veer was taking so long. They're pausing it because they know they just aren't certain he's going to stick around. That makes all the sense in the world now. And why the Veer vignette was not played last week. Do they play it tonight? Needs to be seen, bro. Now I want to switch over, dude. I want to switch over to SmackDown. There's 6 names currently, from what I'm being told. 6 names on the chopping block. Now, this, again, does not mean that these are confirmed to be released in the next 3 months. This is the list currently that I'm hearing that company is not high on at all. And Nick Khan has no problem at all cutting their cost to add on to their bottom dollar. And if you're selling the company, which I truly believe, some of these contracts are pretty big, guys. So it does make sense, even though it doesn't, if that makes sense. Business-wise, this is what Nick Khan is thinking. SmackDown, get this. These are the 6 names. Drew Gulak, Humberto, Mace. Makes sense, man. If you're not going to give fucking T-Bar, Dominic Dijakovic the time of day, obviously Mace is going to get the boot. Mustafa Ali. That's fucking tragic. That guy never actually got a fair shake. And I think we all know that he's next up. I think we all know that Ali is being canned in 3 months. I don't think that's a shocker to anybody. Stanky. Fucking Shanky. If Veer is going on the red brand, you know that fucking Shanky's going. So I think this was something, that's probably one of the first ones. You know, you're going to cut like 150,000 maybe. That's all you're going to save from Shanky. That shows you how petty this company is. Rather than try to put an effort, let's just try to recoup $150. And Shayna Baszler. That's the most tragic of them all for the Blue brand. Aside from that, it's not that hard-hitting so far. Again, there could be other hard-hitting names. Don't be like, oh, BC, man, you said that this person wasn't going to get released. This isn't confirmed, guys. This is just what I'm hearing 3 months previous. But Shayna Baszler is still pretty tragic. She never got a fair shake. This should have been one of the most dominant females in all of pro wrestling. Instead, JR, what was her fucking statistic? 15 or 17 fruit roll-ups in 2021? Most of them in less than 2 minutes. And she was getting rolled up and defeated in less than 2 minutes in most of her matches. Shayna Baszler was done filthy. And now she's on the list to just get fucking casted aside. Released. How does anybody not find that fucking tragic, man? You'd be okay if you just heard that Shayna Baszler is being released? You'd just be like, oh, I saw it happening. That's Vince. That's the way he booked her. Of course, that'd be true, but fuck, that's tragic. I don't give a fuck what promotion. I don't care what year. Shayna Baszler should have been dominant because she is dominant. I can't fucking picture. You know, Tony Khan can't sign everybody. But when it comes to females, I absolutely think he can sign a plethora. I think for sure Ember Moon, Athena should go there. Ember Moon, no question. She belongs in a place like AEW because she will thrive and she will only help that company. AEW also, for you guys especially, you really want to see somebody like Toni Storm there. So I can even see her fitting in over there. But Shayna Baszler! Fuck yeah, Shayna Baszler! Shayna Baszler could fuck shit up in the most realistic of ways, which is what AEW is founded upon. Again, anybody just tuning in, I don't have Nick Khan on speed dial. This is not a confirmed list. This is no longer just a rumor, though. I sat on this for 2 weeks because the people that I know that know way more than me down in Florida talk to people in that company. They sat on this before even telling me 2 weeks ago. It just seemed like too much rumor. 2 weeks have now gone by. They are doubling down. I feel comfortable now telling you, informing you, do not be shocked in 3 months right after WrestleMania when it comes time for the big releases, the yearly WrestleMania post-releases. Do not be shocked if this is the biggest release in company history, because that's exactly how it's being described to BC. The wrestlers in that company, and I quote, have been said to be on high alert. That is a quote that I wrote down for you. High alert over what is to come. I doubt they're on high alert because there's going to be an extra triple layer moose cake serving at catering, although that would probably put them on high alert. Got to be the first one to the triple layer moose cake. So just remember this stream, just remember what we talked about so you're not that shocked when this company totally rips that fucking Band-Aid off all at once. I don't think you're going to get 4 separate rounds of cuts this year. I think Nick Khan and Vince McMahon are going to be strategic, do it all in one fucking night, get the bad publicity for the next fucking 2-3 weeks, and hopefully move on so when it's time to sell, all that needs to be done is you put a little fucking bow, a little ribbon, maybe even a little fucking a cherry on top, and this company is ready to sell. Whether it's Disney, whether it's Fox, whether it's Comcast Universal, whether it's The Rock with a bunch of investors. This is the year where Nick Khan does what Vince McMahon hired him to do. Package up WWE with that fucking bow tie and that cherry. This is the year. You thought 2021 was bad? You ain't seen nothing, Jack. You ain't seen shit. Wait till you see what happens right after WrestleMania. Just wait and see. You heard it here first. If you're new to this channel, my unit will tell you I am right way more than I am wrong. Because I won't talk about shit like this unless my people are doubling down, unless it's substance and not just rumor. Wait and see. We'll talk about it. Oh, we're probably going to hear a lot more about this in the coming months, even before WrestleMania. By the way, that brings me to something else that I want to talk about. Mickie James, because she was part of the releases just last year post-Mania, the big releases, man. If you count WWE staffers and headquarters, over fucking 70 people on that one round last year. So Mickie James was announced to come back to WWE's Royal Rumble in a couple of weeks. And she's the TNA Impact, I should say, Impact Knockouts champion. A lot of people thought she was going to drop that title to Deonna Purrazzo. Now, I think that was supposed to happen. But I think what happened was WWE let the cat out of the bag. They weren't going to say Mickie as an actual surprise. They were just going to announce it. And once that happened, Scott D'Amore, man, Impact, they were like, you are not dropping that title. We're going to carry this straight through the Rumble, this publicity, because Impact was trending worldwide after Friday night's announcement. Mickie James was trending worldwide after Friday's announcement. So I don't think if she was going to lose that title to Deonna Purrazzo, she wasn't going to after the announcement. But after that, man, after that announcement, a lot of fans got heated. A lot of fans got pissed off at Mickie James. They were almost taking the Zelina route, and they were saying she's a sellout. But that's nothing like Zelina. I don't even call Zelina Vega a sellout. I mean, she was against non-unionization, right? So she wanted the company to be unionized. And no wrestling company is unionized. So she had to work for a company. She chose to go back to where she thought she could get more money and where she thought she had more friends. So she went back to WWE, and people totally slammed Zelina Vega. All right, that's in the eye of the beholder. Whatever you feel, that's how you feel. Mickie James is different. The whole thing with Mickie is she's always had a good relationship with Vince, right? When she left, her first tweet out was, "Thank you, Vince. Grateful and thankful. Thank you, Vince." Right? Always had a good relationship with Vince. There was a trash bag incident where Mark Carrano, who oversees, or doesn't, lack thereof, I should say, all of the departed talent and their belongings. Mark Carrano sent a trash bag to Mickie James with her stuff. But everybody gets a trash bag, right? Chelsea Green talked about her trash bag. Renee Paquette, Renee Young, who still loves WWE to this day. All of her friends are there. Renee got a trash bag. In Renee's trash bag, she accidentally got somebody else's fucking makeup. Chelsea Green got Natty Neidhart's boots. So not only did they deliver these females their belongings in a trash bag, they put other people's shit in it. But Mickie James wasn't the only one to get a trash bag, guys. I think that's what people are not understanding. They just thought Bruce Pritchard hates Mickie James so much that Bruce Pritchard saw to it that she got a trash bag. And for those that don't know, I'm not going to get too much into detail, but Bruce Pritchard has a beef with the husband of Mickie James, Nick Aldis, from the NWA. And that's a beef, and so there's a little bit of, there's going to be a little bit of animosity between Mickie and Bruce. But no, this was Mark Carrano, guys. Mark Carrano sends trash bags to everybody's house with their belongings. That's a Mark Carrano thing, right? And when WWE got wind of this, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Vince, everybody apologized, and Mark Carrano was fired. Now, of course, that's a little bit of damage control. Somebody's got to be held responsible for this. This makes the company look like shit. But Mark Carrano was fired. And then when Mickie James was asked about it, Mickie James said, "I have no question at all about it. I know for a fact Vince McMahon knew nothing about this. Why would he?" She said that the guy responsible, it got taken care of. For me, it just seemed like it was a tone-deaf company decision. She said that she didn't feel it was thought about beforehand to be this dastardly deed. But that's the problem with the company. They don't think about shit beforehand. That was her biggest issue, right? She said this in many podcasts. Go back to the Renee Paquette podcast where she says this. So the trash bag thing, she said, "I never wanted to come off as bitter. I never had a direct problem with the company that I thought couldn't be fixed." These are her words. But yet fans are fucking volatile over this. Fans are saying she sold out. Fans are saying, how the fuck could she ever go back there? But she never said that she wouldn't. So I don't understand what she said that would make her not ever come back for a big payday and to raise the stock in her name and the stock of the company she currently works for or is doing business for. Because Impact was trending worldwide. Mickie James was trending worldwide. Mickie James is collecting on a fat check. Mickie James's name is going to be rung through the headline meter. This is a win-win-win-win-win. And people are stuck that she doesn't have the correct moral code. They lost respect. So everybody that ever got a trash bag can never go back to WWE then. Because that's the whole women's roster that's ever been released or that has ever walked away. I'm trying to comprehend. I don't get it because she didn't say she's burning the bridge. She didn't say they did this dastardly thing to the point where she is so damaged she's never going back. I don't understand that the hate on Mickie James. It's not just heat. Some people are just mind-boggled that she would go back for one night to collect a huge payday and get her name in the spotlight to help the companies that she's working with. That's smart business 101. How the fuck are you going to turn down the Royal Rumble? But the same people that say that Mickie James isn't on their moral compass because of this, they're the same people that have no problem with Triple H, I bet. The same people that defend Triple H. A guy who has not stepped up once after everything that has happened to his children in NXT, and most of them getting released or treated like shit or not booked properly, and then his NXT staff getting gutted over the last 2 weeks, 2 months. A whole new NXT! And Triple H, instead of standing up, what did he do this week? He had his first interview, and he talked about how Vince has big things in the future, and the NIL program, the next in line for recruitment, is going to be bigger than we've ever seen. Nick Khan said he's coming back to work next month for NXT. This really sounds like a guy sticking up for what got ruined on him. This was Triple H's baby NXT. How the fuck do you not collect your belongings and leave? Supposedly, I heard that the father-in-law destroyed everything he created, and Triple H is so upset right now. This is what the fans are saying. Wade Keller just said that what he's hearing is Triple H got bummed out. That's the exact words that Wade Keller said. He's hearing that Triple H got bummed out that NXT got switched. That's it? He's just bummed out? But you're okay with Triple H continuing to kiss Vince McMahon's ass because that's what he did this week in that interview. It's business as usual for Triple H, but you feel so bad for Triple H. You think he's actually in his basement right now, hitting his head against a cement wall. Why me? Why me, Vince? He's laughing at you and he's laughing to the bank. But you're gonna protect Triple H and put his moral code aside, but you're gonna fucking hound on Mickie James? Her moral code doesn't match yours? You lost respect for Mickie James, but you respect Triple H still? You are a fucking hypocritical clown. It's easier when it's the females, I've noticed, right? A lot of people, it's easier to fucking bounce down on females. Not so easy when it's somebody like Triple H, right? But the women have to follow your moral code. It's always funny how that works. Zelina Vega, the biggest sellout of all time. When BC did his research, no company was unionized. Where was she supposed to go? Is it because she didn't go to AEW? Mickie James comes back for one payday when she never had a problem with Vince. It was a trash bag issue. It got resolved. Mickey's happy with the facts. Mickey's happy with the apologies. Mickey's happy with them reaching out to her because they wanted her back. And instead of being happy that you get to see Mickie James in a WWE ring for one fucking night, go out the right way, you're on your fucking high horse. What a sellout she is. Mind-boggling. Try not to spit on camera. The person that did the trash bag is gone. His name is Mark Carrano. I don't know what anybody else is hearing. It's wrong. Mark Carrano, he's been fired. Triple H, you guys got to do your research. Triple H left a statement after this whole incident. Triple H said the person responsible has been fired. Word got round 7 hours earlier that Mark Carrano was fired. Mickie James has said in her own words, the guy's been fired. This wasn't the first time a trash bag has been sent to somebody. It wasn't the last. There was people after her even. It's been rectified. And now all of a sudden the community is outraged that Mickie James accepted a one-night appearance to raise her stock. A big chunk of wrestling fans cannot stand women wrestling, cannot stand women. A big chunk. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened in their lifetime. I don't know if they've had mommy issues, girlfriend issues. I don't know what it is. But the women do not get treated fairly by the fans in this community. They don't. I cannot believe the heat and the hate that people like Zelina Vega and Mickie James got for making big girl decisions. When never did somebody like BC ever think that they would never be back in WWE. I've said for the whole year that it boggles my mind that Mickie James would even be released. Boggles my fucking mind. But when time passes and you look at the facts, you look at how this is being done, nothing says she shouldn't have said yes to this. It's one night only. Her stock is going to be raised. Impact Wrestling gets a huge shout out. They were trending top 5 after Friday night. Number 4, maybe they even reached number 3. Mickie James was in the number 3 spot. Maybe she reached number 2. This is business 101. WWE reached out to her. You can think all you want, bro. However your way of thinking, your reasoning, that's fine. But let's leave your moral compass at the door. Let's leave that shit outside. You're not morally better than Mickie James because she decided to come back to WWE for one night. You're not morally better than her. Sorry that I'm the one who has to tell you this. And by the way, it could boggle your mind, no doubt. Like, I just can't see how Mickie James would say yes to this BC. Again, it makes perfect sense for me, given all the facts that I have resurfaced. Or allowed to come fucking surfacing to the top of that tidal wave. But I understand if it just boggles your mind. But to totally rag on this female, to totally rag on her for the decision to say yes to this one-time appearance, to talk to Vince McMahon once again, to clear the air with people that may have thought she was bitter about this trash bag shit. I mean, these are grown adults doing what's best for them, man. Of course it boggles my mind, but if Bray Wyatt shows up to WWE, are you guys going to give him the same fucking treatment? How dare he go back? Look what they did to him. He went and filmed the movies. He went and saw that there's a whole nother career out for him, and then he came back, that son of a bitch. Is it because he didn't go to AEW? No matter where Bray shows up, Wyndham Rotunda, I'm going to be right there with him cheering that dude on because he deserves it. And evidently, he made a decision because it was in the best interests of him and his family. For JoJo, for his kids. I'm not going to take a performer breaking his back for all of us and say, what a fucking sellout. What a fucking douchebag. Wrestling fans can be so entitled. Not just fickle, but entitled. If a wrestler doesn't go to the company they want him to, they're a sellout. Morally, they should be casted aside in the world. They should be canceled out. Because Mickie James didn't go to AEW. If you're gonna, I swear, you better not be hypocritical. If you're gonna talk shit about Mickie James, you best be talking shit about Triple H. Because that dude doesn't even have the sack. He can't even locate his balls, which are firmly placed in Stephanie's purse. He can't even get his balls out for one interview to just say, yeah, Vince ruined what I created. It sucks. It sucks, but these are the reasons I'm sticking around and not saying anything. Just talk about it. No, he won't even discuss it. And you know what people say? What do you expect him to say, BC? He's not going to throw his father-in-law under the bus. But you have a problem with Mickie fucking James? who at least did speak out and made things change, people don't get trash bags anymore. You can thank Mickie James for that. Zelina Vega talked about unionization when nobody had the balls to. Nobody had a fucking nipple to talk about it. Zelina Vega talked about it, and nobody followed her in the conversation. Everybody left her out to dry. She thankfully got another offer by WWE, and it was a big one. Nobody had the fucking balls or the tits to follow her in that unionization conversation, but she got dragged through the mud because she's the only one who had the tits to fucking talk about it. And Mickie James, the only one that has the fucking nipples to bring up the trash bag situation. And she got it changed. Nobody does the trash bag thing anymore. They don't get trash bags anymore. You can thank Mickie James. But instead, you drag her through the mud. And you put Triple H on a pedestal. When this dude won't even talk about all the wrong that Vince McMahon has done to NXT. Whether business or just because. Wouldn't you be pissed a little bit more than what we're hearing he's bummed out? Triple H will never stand up to Vince McMahon. He will continue in every video to say that we, the fans, don't know what we're talking about because he said it multiple times. He will continue to say that we question Vince with no validity behind it because Vince knows what he's doing and he always does what's best for business. This is Triple H's own words. And you will continue to put him on a pedestal. And you will drag females like Zelina and Mickie James through the mud. Fuck that and fuck you for doing that shit. Because that makes you a hypocritical clown. If you're gonna talk shit about Mickie, you best be talking shit about Triple H. But I bet you're not. You're gonna talk about how Triple H is being done so filthy, but you'll continue to talk about Mickie James being so morally incorrect. I see how it is. I got you. All too well, I got you. Cody Rhodes. Let's move on, man. Cody Rhodes just talked about the dumbest thing he's ever done in pro wrestling, especially AEW. And it was just last month when he went through that flaming table. And he said it was the dumbest thing, but it was one of the most coolest. But it was the dumbest thing he's done. Any one of us could have told him that. You see what just happened to Phoenix's arm this past week. Snapped back. It could have been a lot worse. It looked a lot worse than just dislocated slightly. I've dislocated my elbow and fractured at the same time, man. Took 9 fucking months to get back on the football field for BC. So you look at what happened to Phoenix in that scary table spot. You see what Cody went through, man. He was lit on fire because it was a botch. And then you see what happened this past week on Battle of the Belts. What was it? A cork bomb? Tiger bomb? What was that, man, through the table? Either way, it makes you think, man, every show we're seeing these diabolical table spots. It's not needed, man. This shit is not needed. You don't need to be doing death-defying table spots. You can rest on the foundation of who the fuck you are, and people are going to tune in. Canadian Destroyer, JR9, thank you, bro. It was a Canadian Destroyer, yes. Excellence as well, Any Dangerously, thank you, guys. It was a Destroyer. But my question is, was it needed? No. I give these wrestlers 110% credit for giving 110% and not playing it too safe. But when shit happens like what happened to Cody and shit happens like Phoenix, maybe that's the time where you in the locker room say, hey, guess what we don't need to do in this match? We can captivate everyone's attention by doing X, Y, and Z. So I long for the day where people like Cody don't have to say things like, the dumbest thing I've ever done was last month. I long for the day where we can say, stop that shit. You don't need to almost die for our entertainment. So can you please stop that shit? You can keep going balls to the wall. You can keep getting creative. You can keep being daring and risque. Love it. You don't have to do that shit. It's not even like it's that unique anymore. This is happening on every fucking show, sometimes every match. On a pay-per-view, almost every match has shit like this in AEW, man. And if you're trying to get a big pop, a "This is awesome" chant, trust me when I say today's wrestling fan will give you a "This is awesome" chant with a fucking couple of clotheslines, a DDT, and a fruit roll-up. And in 2 minutes, you'll hear "This is awesome," because that's what we chant for every match. You don't have to do that type of shit. Just relax, man. I'm starting to see some crazy shit from some of these performers. They're trying to outdo one another a little too much. It's not needed. And I hope it doesn't get to the point where we have a fucking very bad injury that we're talking about. And we all know could have been prevented. I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to bring that up, man. I caught that. That caught my attention, the Cody Rhodes interview where he said, the dumbest thing I ever did. Just dumb, 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 he said. And it was that flaming table spot. Alexa Bliss. I want to talk about Raw tonight, man. A little bit of a preview right now. Alexa Bliss. It's supposed to be the journey of Bliss tonight. Her return. I don't think she's going to be on camera in the arena, but it is kind of a return. Her vignettes are going to start playing the journey to the comeback of Alexa Bliss. Now, a lot of people were hoping that this would not be the Fiend type character. Old school Twisted Bliss is fine. Not the Fiend character Twisted Bliss. Not the Dark Bliss. Because that's just too Bray Wyatt-y, and Bray Wyatt deserves more respect than that. However, guys, she just posted something on her social earlier today, early Monday morning, and it says now she's Raw's problem, and it shows a picture of her Fiend type character. So it does not look like we're going to get an old school or a new Alexa Bliss character. It looks like you're going to get the Bray Wyatt type of character. She's going to come back with the powers, maybe Lily. It looks like we're going to get the same Alexa. I don't think that's the right call, not only because it's disrespectful to Bray Wyatt, but this is not going to do Alexa Bliss any favors. This is going to hurt her in the long run, especially if what I'm hearing is correct. So far, the front runner to win the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble is Alexa Bliss. Again, I told you guys I heard about this over a week ago. The front runner, the person that is supposed to win the Women's Royal Rumble in 2022 is none other than Alexa Bliss. And now it looks like it's going to be with this character, the Fiend type character. But Alexa Bliss is the name that I'm hearing is supposed to win this year. So that's why you're getting all the surprises announced early, the Kelly Kellys, the Summer Rays, Lita, Mickie James, because there is going to be other surprises. I'm hearing Trish Stratus might be coming back. Alexa Bliss will be placed in the Rumble. Bayley possibly is coming back for the Rumble. So Alexa Bliss, it does look, guys, like we're going to play the same Alexa Bliss based on what she tweeted out earlier this morning on her social media. So yeah, there's some talk as well about Paige as well that I'm hearing. So we'll see, man. And other than that, Brock Lesnar is not advertised for the show, just for the live crowd. But how else are you going to build to a Bobby Lashley feud? You only have 2 more weeks before Bobby Lashley is taking on Brock Lesnar. It's a match that we've all wanted to see for 2 years now, but it's been so rushed, we can't really get too excited about it. And with only 2 weeks to go, if Brock is kept off this show, then what the fuck is going to make this any more exciting? By the time we get to Bobby Lashley and Brock, it's going to be a 6-minute match at best, if we're generous. If being generous. And it's going to have 74 spears. And Brock's still going to walk out with the title. And it's going to be overshadowed by a title versus title Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match for WrestleMania. Bobby Lashley is just going to get the shaft, just like Seth Rollins is getting a shaft. So I don't see how you can leave Brock off of this show with only 2 weeks to go before his big match. Big match with Bobby in 2 weeks. But that's your whole, other than that, is Veer still coming to Monday Night Raw? We're hearing now that he's going to be in these mass releases. The second Veer finally gets to Raw after 4 months of traveling, he's going to be told to turn right back around and hit the bricks. He's going to get there and go, uh-oh, I have to go? Sorry, man. You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. But it took me 4 months to get here. I know. Sorry, man. Here's some triple-layered moose cake for your travels. And then he's got to turn right back around and begin his 4 months back to wherever the fuck he came from. And maybe on his way back, he can try to find Elias. Because he's missing still, too. But we have nothing more for WWE Raw. By the way, thank you for the 200 plus that already smashed that up. I totally forgot to even acknowledge that. I am acknowledging that right now for everybody that took a moment to smash that up, going toward 300. That's going to help. Later on, when I put this live stream up on the channel, thousands of people are going to be clicking this motherfucker. And that's going to show everybody that we had a badass time live. Thank you, guys. So that's the Monday Night Raw preview as well. And if there's any other news, I'll get to it in a little bit. Right now, I want to talk to my VIPs, man. Let me get over to my VIs. Hold on. Monetization. Let's do that. Over to my supers. Oh, there's a lot of you guys, bro. I just been yelling for, 73 minutes? Getting amped? Oh, you guys came strong, bro. Trev Reigns, the tribal god. What up, man? Buy Spot Coffee. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. Now we can talk about Bob Saget. How's that? Everywhere he looks, there's always a heart, a reason to cling to. I don't know the lyrics. Everywhere you turn, everywhere it's a heart, it's a heart. Uncle Jesse, Uncle Joey. Let me see if I can remember everyone else. Stephanie Tanner, DJ Tanner, Kimmy Gibbler. Who's the little twins? Remember the little twins? Mary Kate and Olsen. I forgot their TV names. Michelle. It was just one person played by two twins. Michelle. Yeah, man. Bob Saget, dude. Guys, they usually say it goes in threes, man. Tragic things like this with legends, they say come in threes. So I knew when I saw Betty White, I'm like, uh-oh, who's the next two? Then it was John Madden, and I go, uh-oh, who's the third? It was Bob Saget, who's an absolute legend to anybody that grew up in the 80s, early 90s with Full House. So Bob Saget, man, much love and respect. Trev Reigns, the tribal god, no doubt. VC Stallion! What up, VC Stallion? $4.99 coffee, stuck home with the 19, and I'm happy to catch BC, the #1 guy in this community live. You should have 100K subs by now. If you don't already, you the man. Unfortunately, the tube doesn't allow channels to grow anymore. Even some people that have been doing this way longer than BC, the channels just aren't meant to grow. The tube, I don't know if the tube is in collusion with places like WWE, but they don't allow that. But what's really cool is after every video, we grow slowly but surely. Every single video is an upswing, not a decline. So that's badass, VC Stallion. But the fact that I have tens of thousands of amplified subscribers, that's what matters, man. And even in this video, we're going to have a lot of people smashing that subscribe button. I appreciate the kind words, VC Stallion. And I hope you get better, man. Stuck at home with the 19. Everybody's coming down with something over the last several weeks. We just got to smash it right upside its dome piece and come back better than ever. VC Stallion with another $4.99 says, what's your opinion of other YouTubers thinking Triple H is a victim? I agree with you. He isn't. And even if he is, he's such a pushover for Vince. So VC Stallion, I'll answer your question as honestly, I'm always honest with you, so let me just pull back no fucking punches. If I won't even just single this to just other YouTubers, just content creators, journalists, anybody that makes Triple H out to be the victim when he never holds Vince McMahon accountable and always blames the fans. Anybody that does that is being a hypocritical clown and not being truthful with themselves. It's not being truthful to BC or my unit, because VC, you even said, you know the deal. Most of my amplified unit knows the deal. But if anybody is truly acting like Triple H is a victim, if anybody is truly acting like Vince McMahon is banging his head in a cement wall right now because he's so mad about what Vince is doing to his NXT, you don't know the behind the scenes of the business. You have no clue how pro wrestling works business-wise, for sure. And number 3, You didn't do your research on how much of a kiss-ass Triple H is. So you're not fooling BC, any content creator or journalist. You're fooling yourself. Unfortunately, if you do have an audience and they actually cling to every word you say, you're making them dumber. Triple H is not a victim. Triple H is literally coming back to work next month for NXT, and he's already come back to work for interviews for the recruitment nil. He's already putting Vince McMahon on his pedestal again. He's already kissing that ass. But I thought he's being done so filthy. He doesn't give a fuck. Those big paydays are coming in. And he's being promised the world. And if WWE, if Vince doesn't sell, he's next in line to take over with Steph. Trust me, he's going to be just fine. We're not going to treat him like a victim on this fucking channel. Fuck that shit. Anybody that treats Triple H like a victim doesn't know the business and is lying to themselves and their audience. But don't worry, BC will keep it real for you. That's my sentiments on that, VC Stallion. And VC Stallion with another $4.99. Is BC done with WWE if Johnny Knoxville wins the Rumble, or if they do a Bam versus Johnny spot? I also hate the fact they announced the surprise spots. Yeah, I think there's going to be other surprises as well, VC Stallion, so I'm sure they thought, okay, we'll just unleash some of these names now, get people excited. We're going to have other names as surprises that we're not going to tell you about. Could be. Or maybe on Raw they announce another 7 surprises. Who knows? As far as Bam and Johnny, they're going to do some jackass shit. Trust me. VC Stallion, we're going to roll our eyes to the back of our dome piece on how stupid and how much of a clown show they're turning the Rumble into. Trust me, they're going to do it. And I don't think Johnny Knoxville is going to win, though. But yeah, that could be a nail in the coffin of BC covering WWE anymore. If Knoxville wins, I have to seriously reconsider what the fuck I'm reviewing. I will say that, VC. I won't say for sure that I'll stop covering WWE, but I seriously will have to consider stopping at least some of these shows. Because you can't do a whole David Arquette thing again. Johnny Knoxville winning the Rumble will be right up there with David Arquette winning the championship down in WCW. It's something you cannot have happen. VC Stallion, thank you. Christopher Blackshare, what up, Christopher? $4.99. It's been reported that Sasha got injured during a house show in my town last Sunday, and she'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks, missing the Rumble. Yeah, I heard the same thing about a foot injury, and that she's going to miss approximately 6 to 8 weeks. She will be back in time for WrestleMania. She will not be there in time for the Rumble. That sucks big time on one hand, because this is a pro Sasha channel. She's my favorite pro wrestler for the females ever. So that sucks individually for BC especially, and for most of the unit. On the flip side, I was hearing she was never going to win the Rumble. She was going to be in it, not win it. Alexa Bliss is supposed to win it as of today. So she was going to be done dirty. So I'm hoping that within the next 6 to 8 weeks, that she's thinking of something awesome to come back to, and that Vince and his fucking cronies are thinking of something big for Sasha in WrestleMania. You have 6 to 8 fucking weeks to come up with something special. Utilize that time properly. Sasha Banks deserves and should be demanding that type of respect. And it's the bare minimum respect. Just give a fuck about my booking. Anyway, Christopher, I heard the same thing. Much love and support to Sasha Banks, man. But she's going to come back better than ever. And this could be what everybody needs to give her something massive at WrestleMania. Because I heard she was not winning it. But I want to find out more research about that too before I start talking about that even more, man. Of course, Sasha Banks, Trish Stratus is my dream match. You would set that up in the Rumble if Trish was going to be a surprise entrant. And now you can't do that. So I don't know how you... I mean, did that just ruin something like Trish and Sasha for WrestleMania? It could have. I have to find out more info about that. Carlos Ray with 100 spot banger. A Hunji bomb by Carlos on a Monday morning. Carlos missed last The last live stream, most of it, I saw you said, "What's up?" early on, Carlos, and then you had to take care of some shit. Hopefully you went back and caught it. Carlos with that 100 banger. I want to see the flames for Carlos, bro. Carlos says, "Let's start this week the right way." Salute, my brother, from all of us. So Carlos is saying that 100 banger is from the entire amp unit. So he's showing the utmost respect to the unit. Show that right back. Carlos, you know how this works, bro. Whether you want your spot blown up or not, whether you want the shout out this big or not, you're going to get it. All of that fire, all those bombs over to you, Carlos. That's massive respect. That's a hell of a lot of coffee. And as you can tell, we're going through a lot on days like this. So I'm going to utilize that hunji. Not needed, always appreciated. Carlos, man. I just want to watch the fire come streaming in for Carlos. Fuck yeah, guys. Look at all that fire. Look at all the bombs coming in. Is Carlos still up in here? Where you at, Carlos? I hope you're seeing all this, bro. A hunji. That's a hell of a lot of coffee for BC to keep these streams going. And I might come back later tonight to do a live review and reaction of hour number 1 of Raw. So be checking in later tonight, guys. I don't know if Carlos is still up in here or not, but either fucking which way, we're showing the love right back. That's all for you, brother. And we are starting it off the right week. Thank you, Carlos. The fucking best, dude. Carlos Ray. Massive, massive hunji bomb. Joey's Adventures is up in this bitch too, by the way. Joey's Adventures with a 5-spot coffee. Says, heard it's possible that Seth beats Roman and takes the title to Raw. That way Brock versus Roman can take place on SmackDown due to Brock being a free agent. But then you're flipping everything even more to a confusing, mind-bogglingly state. Joey's Adventures. Now Brock is somehow fluttering right back to the blue brand just because he lost the Raw title. And now Seth Rollins... So you're saying Seth Rollins is taking the title to... Wait, Seth beats Roman and takes the title to Raw, but Seth would now have the blue brand title. So now the blue brand title Universal will now be on Raw, and then Brock's taking the WWE title over to SmackDown? That makes zero fucking sense, Joey's Adventures. And I know you said that's what you're hearing. Whoever you're hearing it from, it's mind-bogglingly stupid. They might literally be hearing that. But if that decision ever came to fruition, Joey's Adventures, I'm sure you know this, that is mind-bogglingly dumb and to the highest degree. You cannot have the fucking titles flip-flop. I don't want to see the blue title on the Raw brand, and I don't need to see the WWE title on the fucking blue brand. I don't see Seth Rollins winning this anyway, Joey's Adventures. This was just because they had nobody left for Roman. They have no faces left. Look at what happened in Boston. We talked about it earlier. Roman Reigns had to give the "thank you for coming out tonight" speech. He thanked Boston. He said, "Be safe, everybody. Be careful on the way home. Protect one another. Thank you for coming out. Good night, everybody." This was your top heel in the company. He had to do that in Boston this weekend. He had to do that at the live events because they have no face to do it. Seth Rollins was even playing a face. Super kicking the Usos. He gave both Jimmy and Jay a fucking stomp, and then he went up to the top turnbuckle and gave an applause to the crowd for applauding him. Everything in this company is ass backwards right now in the title picture. Everything got turned upside down, and it's not in a fun way. It's not in a creative way. It's not in a shocking way. Ooh, we don't know what's going to happen. This is fun. This is in a, oh my God, everything that has happened on the TV screen is absolute, utterly clown bullshit. Seth Rollins has no business whatsoever winning that championship. None. All of this, all of these people that Roman Reigns defeated, Big E was a champion. He had no business being flat on his back looking up at the lights, but that's what happens when you do champion versus champion at Survivor Series. So Big E gets defeated by Roman. Edge gets defeated by Roman. Daniel Bryan and Edge get defeated by Roman Reigns. I can go on, and all of that was to lead to a Royal Rumble loss a few months before WrestleMania to Seth Rollins. Joey's Adventures. I'm not getting amplified on you, bro. But wherever you heard this from, this is obnoxious to even comprehend that this would be a thought in Vince McMahon's dome piece. Can you tell I'm against that idea? Can you tell I'm thoroughly against that idea? Joey's Adventures. Oh, man. Eric Newton, 5-Spot Coffee. Appreciate your channel, BC. You provide info that I sometimes don't get and makes my arguments incomplete until I listen to your channel. I appreciate that, Eric. I appreciate the words, man. That really means a lot because this channel was founded upon making pro wrestling better, and we do that by all being on the same page. That doesn't mean we all just think the same like robots. We can always have our own feelings about shit, our own emotions about shit, and just what we like and don't. Our own opinions. But I want this channel to be fact-based, not opinion-based. So I always like to distribute facts. That way we're all on the same page mostly. And then we can try to make pro wrestling better. So Eric Newton, I appreciate those words more than you know, dude. Appreciate that big time. Eric Newton also has another 5-Spot saying, breaking kayfabe is like a magician revealing his tricks and secrets. It looks cool, but not the same when you know how it works. It loses its appeal. Perfect way to put it, Eric. You wouldn't want the magician to show you the fucking tricks because now when you see it in the future, it ain't gonna be as special, bro. You can only pull back the curtain so far. What Roman Reigns did this weekend, breaking character and addressing the crowd like a top babyface, is appalling in pro wrestling. It is something you cannot ever and should not ever do. You're a top heel or you're not. And Vince has no top baby faces to work with Roman Reigns. And that's why you're getting a top heel working with top heel Roman. Seth versus Roman. And Vince botched this so badly, he's even got Seth Rollins playing a face this weekend at the live events. Boggles my dome piece to a whole nother level in stratosphere. Eric Newton, appreciate it. Trev Reigns, the tribal god, 5-Spot Coffee. Ever since the releases, I always Vince McMahon, no mercy on everything else. I don't get that, Trev Reigns. We're missing some words, I think, man. Ever since the releases, I always Vince McMahon, no mercy on everything else accountable, especially Bray Wyatt's release. Oh boy. Maybe you mean ever since the releases, I always gave Vince McMahon no mercy on everything and held him accountable. I'm switching your shit up, Trev Reigns. Trying to make it make sense a little bit, bro. But yeah, man, I always hold Vince accountable more than anything, and I hope my unit does. That's why, of course, Brucey Pritchard is to blame for shit. Of course, Johnny Laurinaitis. Of course, Kevin Dunn. Of course, Nick Khan. All of his yes men, Triple H. At the end of the day, I like to hold one main person accountable. I'm the only person that does it on this platform, and that's Vince McMahon, because at the end of the day, he is the be-all, end-all, or he should be. But he's getting so old, and he's overseeing so many other business aspects that the day-to-day operations, he's just not paying enough attention to. And I don't let him off the hook for that. Instead, I double down and I hold him even more responsible. I hold him even more responsible for being even more negligent. I hope that makes sense. So Trev Reigns, you're doing the right thing. Hold Vince McMahon accountable always. Because at the end of the day, it is him. Nick Khan. Nick Khan was hired, however, to turn this company upside down, to make it presentable for a sale. So if you want to place any blame anywhere else, yeah, you can go ahead and use Nick's name here and there. Because Nick Khan was hired to turn this company upside down, trust me. No, it's definitely Triple H's fault. So it's Triple H's fault for everything as well, trust me. Triple H does not stand up for himself. Triple H did not stand up for NXT. We know that for a fact. Triple H came back to work last week. Triple H is at fault. Always remember that. On this channel, I will accept no other alternative answer. Triple H is at fault, and he's been decided upon. Sorry, not sorry. Just had to say that. Anybody, Triple H is not at fault, man. He created NXT and then he got it taken away from him, basically. No, he didn't. This is business 101. It got gutted. And of course, the old guard has been taken out. That sucks, absolutely. But NXT was on its way down even on Triple H's watch. He couldn't pull in the ratings that he said he could. USA Network got pissed off. Vince McMahon hired Nick Khan to gut the place, and that's what happened. Triple H was not standing up for Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. Triple H was not standing up for anybody but Vince McMahon. I will have this conversation till I'm blue in the fucking face. I don't give a fuck. Triple H just came back to work this week, and you know what he's promoting? Vince McMahon's NIL program. He's promoting recruitment. He's promoting going back to NXT next month. Oh yeah, really sounds like he got done filthy. Fuck out of here, bro. Come on, stop. Stop it. You make your bed, now you gotta fucking lie in it. Blame is on Triple H. Vince McMahon? Take a back seat. Triple H, if you're going to show him all the sympathy, you better also hold him accountable. Triple H is to blame, because BC said so. I'll say this again. I will not allow any other dialogue on this channel. I said it. I meant it. Triple H is to blame. Let's make sure that that is known. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Eric Newton. Eric Newton talked about the magician revealing his tricks. That's basically what Roman did this weekend, man. Absolutely mind-bogglingly dumb what happened with Roman Reigns at that live event and Seth Rollins. Both breaking character, breaking kayfabe, totally going face, both of them, on the same night. Enforcer 2K9 5 spot. What up, Enforcer? I think Roman broke character because he just recently tested pause on top of his leukemia issues, publicity stunt or otherwise. It is what it is. It doesn't matter, Enforcer, though. Thank you for the coffee. It doesn't matter. I don't care about fucking... It's not about leukemia or the 19 or if you stubbed your toe. I don't care what it is. You can't go in front of a live crowd as the top heel and stay safe, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Can't wait to see you again. Good night. The fuck? There's no excuse for that. There's none. You have to have a face, a top face that does that role. Since the inception of pro wrestling, Enforcer 2K9, there's always been the guy you go out there and you deliver those speeches. Your top heel in the company shouldn't be the guy going out there saying, thanks for coming out, everybody, good night. I don't care what the fuck you just had. There's no excuse. Enforcer, much love. But you ended it it is what it is. Not on this channel. You can't have the top heel cutting a top face, babyface promo, and then BC's gonna go, it is what it is. That's the reason pro wrestling is dead. Pro wrestling is dead because of shit like this. It is not, it is what it is. It should not be what it is. Enforcer 2K, much love though. Much love, brother. But that's the problem, Enforcer. We're all just okay with it. It is what it is. BC, don't worry about it, man. He was just, he just came back from the 19 and he's just telling everyone to be safe and he's giving everyone a heartfelt message to say goodnight, everybody. I couldn't picture top heel Ric Flair doing this back in the day with the Horsemen. I couldn't picture cerebral assassin Triple H doing this or paranoid Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're okay with it now, man. We're just okay with it now, man. There's no more certainty at all in pro wrestling. There's no fucking a heel is a heel. There's no a face is a face anymore. I don't know what Roman is anymore. I don't know what Brock Lesnar is anymore. I don't know what Paul Heyman is. MVP. I don't know what fucking Bobby Lashley is. Bobby Lashley was a fucking heel, and then evidently he's a face now. Because Brock, I think, was a face, and then he just turned heel, going back with Paul Heyman. And then Roman was just a face at the live event, but so was Seth Rollins. I don't even know anymore. I don't know anymore what is happening. But it's not right. This shit is not right, man. Pro wrestling is dying because of these decisions that are being made. Somebody told Roman Reigns to go out there and give a hoorah, thanks for coming tonight. Good night, everybody speech. We love you, Boston. Roman, I don't want your love. You're the fucking acknowledge me, dastardly heel tribal chief. The island of relevancy goes through you. And now you're just fan favorite Roman again? Oh, I see where this is leading to in the next 3 months. This is the same guy that was being force-fed down our throats, I bet. Vince is gonna fucking force-feed him into a fucking face roll. I see it happening, man. It's not his time to do such yet. 300, by the way, on the ups. Thank you, guys, as we head toward 400. I appreciate that. Let me make sure I'm getting everybody, man. Ricky E245. Ricky E245, 15 spot, man. 3 Starbuckses, about 5 Dunkin' Donutses. Ricky E245 says, what's up, BC? You are one of my favorite channels on YouTube. Hey, Ricky E, I appreciate that, man. I really do. I appreciate those words. I'm glad that you come to this channel for not just knowledge, but to be entertained. And hopefully when you leave the channel after every video or live stream, Ricky E245, hopefully you, in turn, are more knowledgeable, man. So I appreciate that, Ricky E245. Ashley Steggles, $8.99. I've seen a fan video of Roman thanking the fans at a live event, ? This is going to be a shit show of a Royal Rumble, and it looked forward to the Rumble, and I look forward to the Rumble event usually, I think is what Ashley's trying to say. Yeah, of course it's going to be a shit show, because we don't know who's face and who's heel on any of the main events. I don't know what Bobby Lashley is right now. I don't know what Brock Lesnar is right now. And after this weekend's live events, which is a prelude to how it's going to play out on TV, I don't know what Roman is anymore. And I don't know what Seth Rollins is anymore. So this is already a shit show, Ashley. It's already a shit show. Derek Fleming Jr., $1.99. Is Moose a legit guy in your eyes? Your thoughts? Actually, Derek, can I talk about him? Of course I can. It's my fucking channel. Derek Fleming Jr. Brings me to another point that I wanted to make, a little side story. There's been a word that WWE wants to do a Forbidden Door opening for the men's Royal Rumble match. Now, this just broke before I went live, so I'm going to do some more research. And I don't know how reputable the source is. This just caught my attention beforehand, so I have to do more research myself. Now, some people are saying that it's going to be Moose, because Moose left a social media post saying, hey, just imagine, and basically alluding to me and Roman Reigns down the future. The problem is, and to answer your question, Derek Fleming Jr., yes, you asked, is Moose a legit guy in your eyes? Moose is beyond a legit guy. However, Derek, I don't see him being the one to go through the Forbidden Door for the Men's Royal Rumble, because Vince knows that the WWE audience, they don't know Moose. So it's not like doing business with Mickie James where everyone's going to know Mickie. Moose, over 50% at least, bare minimum, they're not going to know Moose. So for those that think that Moose is going to be the one to be the Forbidden Door entry for the Men's Royal Rumble, I don't think it's going to be Moose. In fact, if it's going to be anybody, I heard days ago, before this story even broke out, that Braun Strowman was in talks for a Royal Rumble appearance. Braun Strowman, choo-choo, chugga-chugga. When you hear the sound effects, you know that steam-rolling engine is coming in from that choo-choo train. Braun Strowman. So don't be surprised if that's the Forbidden Door entry, guys. Braun, choo-choo train, Strowman. Anyway, guys, that was a side rant. It was a story that I did want to touch up on. I forgot about it, so I used Derek Fleming Jr. Super to kind of segue into that. But to answer your question, Derek Fleming Jr., yes, Moose is beyond legit. And I hope we see him on a big stage, whether it's the E or whether it's the AEW. He deserves to be on a big stage where everybody will get to know this guy's name. Derek Fleming Jr., thanks, dude. B-Love. What up, B-Love? $9.99. Show some love over to B-Love. Salute. Went back to listen to your previous live stream, and I agree. Lashley versus Lesnar should be built as a mega main event match. I can't get excited due to hot shot booking. Lashley versus Lesnar deserves better. B-Love. Thank you for going back, man, and understanding BC even more. I appreciate the hell out of you. You know, a lot of people these days, they hear what they want to hear, or they already have a preconceived notion, or they're preconditioned by somebody else that they view who got a video out before BC, and some other YouTuber or podcaster said something, and they got, like sheep, they kind of got it in their head that that's the only way to think about something. And then BC says something, and they're like, oh, I don't know, Beasley. But B-Love, you went back and thought about it, and you know I'm right. Hotshot booking between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley is not going to live up to the match that we know it could have had. If you did this correctly over the course of 2 to 3 months, at least bare minimum, Lashley and Lesnar would have been epic. But because you're getting hotshot, no feud at all booking, just wait until the match comes around. Don't be shocked if it's about 6 minutes and I'm being generous. Don't be shocked if it's a bunch of spears. And don't be shocked if Lashley is just looking up the fucking lights. It'd be better off if he didn't have the match. B-Love, you know what's up, dude. On this channel, we don't bullshit. Appreciate it, dude. Much love over to B-Love. Joey's Adventures, another 5-spot coffee. Joey's Adventure says Nikki Ash made her own character. Vince doesn't like that. Just ask Wyndham Rotunda. Yeah, what's more upsetting, Joey's Adventures, is that I'm hearing that Nikki Ash's name is on the chopping block for the next releases. So what's sad about that is Nikki has already told the story that she went with this Ash character because she was scared shitless she was going to be in last year's releases. So she knew she had to come up with something that was going to spark Vince's curiosity. Luckily, it worked for her, and she got to not get released. She got a championship, and she got to keep her job for a whole nother year. Now we're hearing that she's on the chopping block for post-WrestleMania releases. So either she better come up with another character, Joey's Adventures, or she better go back to the old school Nikki Cross, crazy character, and hope for the best. Because she's not going to last too long past WrestleMania. But I agree, Joey's Adventures. Vince hates when you come up with your own shit. If it sparks his curiosity, he'll loosen up your rope a little bit, give you some leeway, but within the calendar year, you're going to be released anyway. Because he's not going to give you that much fucking rope. Joey's Adventures, thank you. Dante Jaron 23, $4.99. Dante Jaron 23, what up, dude? Truthfully, outside of Roman, Brock, Becky, Charlotte, and maybe Seth, nobody else is safe. A year or two ago, I'd say the New Day, but I'm not even sure now. Dante Jaron 23, no lies detected, bro, pretty much. I agree with you. I think the New Day would be next tier to be safe, though. But there's not a lot of people safe. You're right. You can count it on 2 hands tops. And I already gave you a bunch of names, 10 names on the Raw brand. If you guys are just tuning in now to the stream, earlier, I already went through 10 names on the Raw side that are on the chopping block. 6 names on SmackDown. That's already 16 names. This shows you how this could easily be the biggest, the largest cuts in WWE history right after WrestleMania this year. But Dante Jaron, you're right. There's not a lot of people safe anymore. You saw that last year when people like Mickie James got canned, or Aleister Black, Malachi, or Wyndham fucking Rotunda, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, Frankie Monet, Mia Yim, Chelsea Green. I mean, they never even got a chance. Dante Jaron 23, man, absolutely. Enforcer 2K9, 2-spot Otis, Balor, Rude, and Dijakovic are Triple H's NXT 1.0. Yeah, but then you look at all the people that were not Triple H's people, like Epico and Primo from fucking last year, and Hawkins and Leo. Well, Leo Rush, maybe. Heath Slater was not a Triple H guy. Rusev was never a Triple H guy. Kurt Angle. There's just so many, man. That were just never Triple H guys. Wyndham Rotunda was never a Triple H guy. Mickie James was never a Triple H gal. You know, so like there's been a lot of releases that had nothing to do with Triple H, but for some reason it fits the narrative that it was all Triple H's people that got released. That's not the case. It's just not. It was a shit ton because Vince doesn't see the same vision that NXT had for these wrestlers, no doubt. That's where Triple H had to stand the fuck up, or he walks out with the released wrestlers. Those were his kids, supposedly. If you're coming in to destroying everything that I built and you're taking all the kids away, I'm walking out with them. But no, Triple H stayed silent. When times got the roughest, he ran away with his heart procedure. He stayed silent. And now that the biggest releases for the NXT brand are done, now he's coming back to work. He had his first interview this past week. Now all of a sudden, Triple H is coming back to work now that the dirty work is done. So we can create these narratives that all the releases were Triple H people, but no, some of the biggest names were not. Mickie James, Wyndham Rotunda. They just weren't, bro. Rusev. This is Nick Khan cutting all the fat, all the pricing, all the money that he thinks can help them at the tail end, help their bottom dollar. Nick Khan was never just out for Triple H's talent, guys. The gutting of NXT's staff, that's business 101. You gut the staff when you do a revamp. That's in any business. This was never a personal vendetta against Triple H. I don't know how many times I have to say this. I know it fits an agenda and a narrative, and it's fun to say because everything is speculation, and it'll help get clicks. Triple H is being done filthy by his own father-in-law, right? It just sounds sensational. You want to click on that. The truth is, guys, so many people got released that have nothing to do with Triple H. This is just Nick Khan taking the bottom dollar off of every contract, adding it over to the addition, the value of WWE. And that's going to help when the sale fight. All of this is for the potential sale this year for WWE. That's what Nick Khan was hired for, guys. I don't understand why everyone thinks this is just Triple H talent that got booted. I just gave you a list of names that had nothing to do with Triple H. And they got released. Mickie James, Rusev, John Morrison. Triple H couldn't stand Morrison. Triple H couldn't stand people like CM Punk. Triple H hated people like Daniel Bryan. But John Morrison got released. Bray Wyatt has nothing to do with Triple H, yet he got released. This isn't just people like Keith Lee and fucking Karrion Kross, man. And on top of that, by the way, it was Dusty Rhodes' NXT. Don't get it fucking twisted. I've been wanting to say that for a while. That was Dusty Rhodes' NXT. And Triple H came in and did what he does best. He stuck his big fucking nose up Dusty Rhodes' ass until he became the fucking sole leader of it. Dusty Rhodes put all those pieces to the puzzle together. Dusty Rhodes owned that NXT. Triple H, the great ass kisser that he is, came in and stole it from Dusty. Triple H never put a dime into that organization. And Triple H never stuck up for that organization, for that brand. Yeah, you're going to get harsh truth on this fucking channel. That was Dusty Rhodes's. All those puzzle pieces was Dusty Rhodes. So stop even calling it Triple H's NXT. Because Triple H did exactly what he did his whole career. He comes in and he swoops it from everybody. It has to be Ric Flair working for Triple H's fucking new faction. Evolution. Triple H's faction. And it's Ric Flair, who Triple H always kissed his ass, man. Now it's Ric Flair working for Triple H. When Sting came to WWF, it had to be Triple H that pinned him at WrestleMania. Because Triple H tried to kiss Sting's ass while he was in WCW, and Sting just never gave him the time of day. So now I gotta beat you. Triple H, when he got to WWF, he kissed the ass of the Clique, even though he didn't drink. He didn't drug, but he claimed that the Clique was the only way, the only people that could teach him the business. That's bullshit. Bret Hart and so many others could have, and you didn't have to get drunk to do it. Triple H knew that you had to kiss the Clique's ass because they could take you to the promised land. And when Shawn Michaels finally exited, and Razor Ramon, Diesel, and Shawn Michaels were all out, guess who was there? The last member of the Clique. He knew what he was doing. When he got that storyline with Stephanie McMahon, he dumped China. In fact, he had an affair. He didn't even dump China. He went behind China's back because he knew he couldn't squander the opportunity at fucking the boss's daughter. And then when he got over to NXT and he saw that he could have something special there, he took what Dusty Rhodes made and he stole it. His whole career, he has stolen shit. He has undermined it. He has gotten the golden shovel out. He has put his nose into every power that be's ass. And then he turns around and he plays the victim. Until he's got to promote whoever's ass he's kissing. The past 10 plus years, it's been Vinnie Mac. And watch what he'll say. He'll say that you don't know what you're talking about. He'll say that Vince knows what's best for business. He'll be saying this in interviews to come. Because I followed this dude his whole career. But why don't we make a video about how bad, how filthy Triple H is being done? Let's do that, guys. Let's make a video about how bad we feel for Triple H. Fuck out of here, bro. He's the last person I feel bad for. A lot of you guys don't know what Dusty Rhodes meant and did for that NXT brand. You don't know how special he was. You don't know how he actually founded it. Dusty Rhodes actually made that place what it was. He was the foundation. It was not Triple H. Oh, if I only had another hour to explain everything to you. But I don't right now, man. I don't. Who just said that? NJPW girl perfectly said, Dusty was the heart of NXT. You could say that Triple H was the fucking liver. He was the fucking kidneys. I don't give a fuck. The lungs. Dusty was the heart. He was the engine underneath the hood. Anyway, I forgot what oh yeah, that was Enforcer 2K9. Thank you, brother. Enforcer 2K9, you got me on a whole nother fucking stratosphere there, bro. We talked about a lot there. Not Puffy, 449. What up, Not Puffy? 449. Hey, BC, like always, stay amplified. What is your favorite feud of all time? Not Puffy. We don't know any other way on this channel, bro. We're always going to be amped. I appreciate it, bro. Not Puffy is asking, what is my favorite feud of all time? Fuck, bro. I said this. I'll give you guys a traditional answer, and then I'll give you guys a non-traditional. I have to go back to the 1980s WCW. This is way before Nitro or New World Order. Old school WCW. And I loved Sting versus Big Van Vader was his name. Now, over time, over the years, he was just known as Vader. But it was Surfer Sting, blonde hair, colorful fucking tights, Sting, versus Big Van Vader, his name was. And he would come out with this fucking awesome helmet, shoulder pad concoction. Big Van Vader, you were scared of that dude growing up. And I just think that him and Sting had one of the best rivalries for me as a kid growing up in the 80s, early 90s. So that's actually one that you might not even think of. But if you guys ever have time, go back to the old WCW, old Super Brawls, pay-per-views, Starcades. They've taken on each other at some of those events. So go back into the archives. You guys will enjoy that feud. Other than that, I know this is going to sound it's just, man, it's such a generic answer, but it really was Stone Cold Rock, man. Because of what they did to the business, WWE, Vince McMahon said it himself. I mean, they almost went out of business. I don't think you guys understand how close WWE was out of business almost. Because WCW was just kicking their ass. And what Stone Cold and The Rock did and the way they were making us feel in the Attitude Era. Guys, I think you think that BC is being a little over embellishing when I say that that's where you were every Monday. I mean these words wholeheartedly when I say, because BC was a teenager around that time, Attitude Era. And I'm telling you right now, it didn't matter if you had a hot fucking date on that Monday night. You were canceling it. You were at fucking home or at a buddy's house watching pro wrestling on Monday nights with your remote in your hand with the last channel button because you knew you were going to flip back between Raw and Nitro because you had to be there when the glass shattered and Stone Cold came fucking power walking down. You had to be there when The Rock or the Authority came down to the ring to confront Stone Cold, you had to be there and flip the channel when the new world order was coming down to the ring to not just beat the fuck out of some unlucky individual, but also gain a new member. You don't know how hot pro wrestling was back then. But it was massive. And so those are two feuds. One that's not so generic, Sting, Big Van Vader, and Austin and Rock, just because what it did for the business. I don't think we'll ever truly get that again, unfortunately. And can I give you guys another kind of generic one? Maybe not too generic. Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage. This was it wasn't approximately. This was WrestleMania 5's build. And if you guys could have been around to watch that feud unfold, you guys have no idea how volatile it was. Macho Man Randy Savage in real life was overprotective of his valet and real life wife, Miss Elizabeth. They used that in the storyline. And I'll never forget, it was like a Saturday night's main event where Miss Elizabeth got knocked off the apron. Hulk Hogan carried her to the back for medical treatment. Macho Man was livid. He went to the back in the medical facility. Now, at this time, you never saw anything like this in pro wrestling. I'm just a kid. I mean, I was like blown away by what I was watching. Macho Man went to the medical facility backstage and he jumped over the thing and he started beating the fuck out of Hulk. Miss Elizabeth is screaming. Referees are coming in. I've never saw any. I get goosebumps talking about it. I get goosebumps because you never saw anything like that back in the day. And Macho Man and Hulk Hogan just got so real to BC that it went to another level. And I'll never forget that WrestleMania 5. It was called the Mega Powers Explosion Match. I'll just never forget that shit. So somebody mentioned Sasha Banks. You know, it wasn't Charlotte Flair that was one of my most memorable for Sasha. The one that's most memorable for me, or one of them anyway, was one that didn't get a lot of time, unfortunately. But it was when Sasha came back and she started that thing with Becky Lynch. You guys remember that? I think it was like last year, maybe 2 years ago. But it was within the last couple years. And Sasha came back with such fierceness, man, that I was into this Becky shit. And they ended up having a really good match. I think it was Royal Rumble last year. Something like that. My time frame might be a little bit off. But that's the Sasha Banks match that I fucking love, man. Sasha came back and started this diesel fucking program with Becky. And then the match more than delivered. And again, I think that was Royal Rumble. So you guys can correct me if not. Was it Hell in a Cell? Oh, it was not Rumble. What the fuck am I talking? JR9, yeah, Hell in a Cell. That's what it was, bro. Royal Rumble, what the fuck? Hell in a Cell, dude. Which is probably why I remember it being so badass. Hell in a Cell, that's what it was. Thank you. JR9, thank you, brother. That's what it was. So, somebody just said, Eric. Eric said emotions about wrestling is beautiful. Eric, exactly. I think that's the moral in all of my matches that I'm naming. And you guys are bringing up some great ones too, by the way. And you're right. I just was asked the question of one of my favorite feuds. I just gave you guys about 4 or 5. I've watched a lot of wrestling over the decades, so I have a lot more than probably a lot of you guys. So that's why I'm naming a handful. But you guys are so right. There's so many. But it's what Eric said. It's the emotion. If you hear about me talk about it, I just talked about how I still get goosebumps when I bring up these matches and feuds. It's because that's what wrestling was based upon. Feuds that we gave a fuck about. Feuds that made you fucking extrude emotion and feeling out of you. These days, wrestling's not based on that anymore. You don't got fucking feelings and emotions like this about superstars, dude. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on the same night at a live event are seemingly turning face. We don't even know what the fuck Lashley and Brock is these days, and how are you going to get invested into a character and care about them at a level that we would like to if we don't even know if they're a face or a heel because the booking is so tragic and reckless? That's what I miss about emotion in pro wrestling. Anyway, good question there, Not Puffy. That just took about 10 plus more minutes on the stream. Anise Sarwar, $4.99. What up, Anise? What must be going through these individuals' minds now? The added stress by the asshole in Stamford. Their lives being changed by petty decisions. Chaos. Yeah, Anise, but this is what I'm telling you. This is why we're talking about it. You're exactly right. I feel bad that they have to look over their shoulder for the next 3 months to see if they're getting released. But that's the whole reason that I talked about these releases, Anise. I knew about it for 2 weeks. I was waiting to see if we were going to get more information. The people that I heard it from, they're saying that, I quote, they're on high alert over what is to come in the next few months about releases. That's the quote that I received. These wrestlers are on high alert. I feel bad for them just as much as you, Anise, to always have to wonder if you're going to get released. Anthony from the Lou. What up, Anthony? 199. BC, the draft was a joke, and now Vince is a fool. He's been a fool for years, Anthony from the Lou. The draft is more of a joke because, Anthony, as you know, the second after the draft, nothing was shaken up. We still were getting the same repetitive matches. One puzzle piece was moved over here and there, maybe. And then before you know it, people are just jumping over to the other brand with there was no excuse, no rhyme or reason. The draft was a joke from literally second number one. Anthony from the Lou ain't stupid about it. BC ain't stupid about it. And I know my amp unit ain't stupid about it. Anthony from the Lou, no doubt. Brianna! What up, Brianna? 5-Spot Coffee. 2 things, BC. Number 1, Triple H is a deadbeat dad who abandoned his children. And 2, your amplification amps me up. You're an entire case of coffee. Salute. Brianna! And Brianna's talking about abandoning his children. She's talking about the NXT children, guys. Don't worry. I don't think he had children with China. But Brianna is talking about leaving his NXT children high and dry. And that's what he did, guys. Some people want to say, BC, how do you know he didn't stand up for them when they left, before they left? Because we know for a fact, because there's not one story that says Triple H ever stood up for any of them. In fact, all we have to go on, guys, is the interviews that Triple H gave about the releases. And what did he say, guys? He said, we have to stop acting like we know what's going on behind the scenes. He said, Vince, his father-in-law, always knows what's best for business. Don't question it. These were his words. That's how we know that he didn't stick up for them. And when times got the harshest and his staff just got gutted over the last couple of months, that's where he conveniently got his little heart procedure. So he got to wipe his hands clean. He had nothing to do with it. And now that the dirty business has been done, the bulk of it, guess who just came back to work this week? Triple H. He already gave his first interview for the NIL program. Next in line recruitment. Nick Khan already said last month Triple H is coming back to NXT for more recruitment. Triple H is back in the best role he knows imaginable, kissing Vince McMahon's ass. That's how we know he abandoned his children in NXT. As far as, Brianna says your amplification amps me up. You're an entire case of coffee. Salute, BC. Brianna, much love, man. Much love that you admire this amplification. You still watch BC even though I'm a nut. And you enjoy the content. And hopefully I'm making you guys smarter as we go along. Brianna, much love and respect. PB Silipride, 1999. PB, one of my tried and trues. Good to see you up in here, man. Thank you for the coffees. The overwhelming majority of people who bash others for their job and careers choices don't know what it means to make an honest living. These are the same people who expect everything to be handed to them. So pathetic. Absolutely. PB Silipride is talking about what we talked about earlier, guys, about people bashing Mickie James and people like Zelina. When, if you look at what they said, they never said that they were burning a bridge. They never said that they have a problem directly with Vince. They never said that they weren't going to come back to WWE. And yet Mickie James is being bashed, but we're allowing Triple H to get a free pass. Triple H doesn't stick up for anything that's going wrong in his NXT or anything that he supposedly built, even though it was Dusty Rhodes. But we're giving Triple H a pass, but we're going to drag through the mud people like Mickie James for making a career choice that she felt was best for her. And she was trending number 3 on social. Impact Wrestling trending number 4. She's collecting a big payday while working for other companies. WWE reached out to her, not the other way around. So she said, there's more pluses to negatives here. And she said she has no qualms at all. Even the trash bag incident That was Mark Carano. He got fired, and all the females got trash bags. It wasn't just Mickie. But that was rectified. Everybody apologized, he accepted it, and she always thanked Vince McMahon. So I don't know why people thought she was never going to go back to WWE. We were absolutely boggled that she got released the first time. To this day, my mind's boggled by that. But when you look at all that this does in a positive way for Mickie, I just listed off a bunch of things, those far outweigh any moral code that she broke, or you losing respect for her when you're not paying her bills. But you're gonna let Triple H off the hook. Fuck that shit. So PP Silipride, you're exactly right. Talk about how somebody else makes their fucking living. Before we throw those stones at somebody else's glass fucking house, make sure that your house is in order. Trev Reigns, the Tribal God, 5-spot. Facts after facts, BC. This is why I support this channel. I don't... I'll always blame Triple H for not sticking up to Vince. I appreciate that, Trev. Thanks for knowing what you're talking about. I truly appreciate that. Because there's a lot of people in the pro wrestling community that don't. They truly cannot comprehend what BC is saying. Or they're listening to my words, but they still go, I hear you, BC, but I just feel so bad for Triple H. But you feel worse than he feels. And we know this based on the factual evidence and details that we have collected over the last several months alone. At some point, you have to hold him responsible. Instead of holding him as a victim, why not just hold him as responsible for what not only has happened to NXT, but for accepting it and then coming back to work this week like nothing happened? We're hearing from inside that company, from Wade Keller and such, that he's a little bummed. Somebody just came into your fucking house, took a shit on the breakfast table, stole your fucking wife, and drove off in your car. And you're a little bummed? Because if Triple H actually got done that dirty, then how do you have any respect for him? Makes no sense. You claim he got done so dirty, and then you say, well, he can't stick up for him. He can't stick up for himself, BC. He'll get fired. Wouldn't you want to be at that point? All your kids just got fucking dismantled. You were supposedly done filthy. Everything you created, supposedly Vince destroyed. And you're just going back to work like nothing. How would you do that for any company you're working for? Doesn't make sense to me. But that's okay for you. But Mickie James broke your moral code. Yeah, okay. Absolutely, PB Silipride. And Trev Reigns, the Tribal God. Mr. Black Ice 22, 5-spot coffee. I remember when Jesse the Body Ventura talked about unionization, but Hulk Hogan snitched on him to Vince, and that's why he don't like Hogan at all. No doubt, man. I actually did that in a story on the channel a couple years ago, maybe. But I talked about how Hulk Hogan was he was the one that blew the whistle on Jesse Ventura. And Jesse Ventura was on the outs from that day on. He came back to WWE a few times, WWF. But it was never the same between him and Vince. Vince does not like that U word. And when Zelina brought it up and nobody followed her, the fact that Vince still wanted her in the company, that showed Zelina a lot. Zelina said, okay. And then she got, to this day, is called a sellout. But last I checked, there's no company in pro wrestling that's unionized. So to those standards that people are holding her to, no matter where she went, she was going to be a sellout. It doesn't make sense, and it's not fair to Zelina. It's not fair to Mickie James. Mr. Black Ice 22, absolutely, man. Anisar War 499, psychology over gymnastics. Certain aspects of pro wrestling will evolve, but ring psychology needs to be preserved. Exactly, bro. Some of that kayfabe needs to be reserved. I know it's all but dead, but it can't fully be dead. You can't completely pull the curtain back on kayfabe and how wrestling, the magic trick, is actually done, as Eric mentioned it earlier. You can't do it. Psychology always has to be the foundation of pro wrestling, even over the gymnastics of today. No doubt, Anise. Perfectly said, by the way. Trev Reigns, the Tribal God, another 5-spot. No. I want the old school Alexa Bliss, not the Fiend Alexa. It's highly disrespectful to Bray Wyatt. I agree. But this is just what I'm hearing, Trev. I agree with you. But early this morning, Alexa Bliss left a social media post. It's her old Wyatt character, Alexa, And she just left the caption, "She's your problem now" at WWE Raw. So it looks like she's bringing back the Bray Wyatt type character. You're right, Trev. I've said it a million times. I'll use your exact words. It's highly disrespectful to Bray Wyatt, and it does nothing for Alexa, but only hurts her, because people are not going to like the fact that she's still playing Bray Wyatt's character without Bray Wyatt even there. So absolutely agree. VC Stallion, another, did I get, yeah. VC Stallion talked about Johnny Knoxville winning the Rumble. Oh, I hope not, VC. That's for sure. There was some more that came in, guys, while I was going through all of those supers. I can't believe the love and support, but we're not even done. A ton of you guys came in afterwards. Damn. All right, we got a lot more, guys, so I'm going to stay as long as I need to. JR9 Gaming, dude, my right-hand man on the channel with that 5 spot says, here is stats on all matches between the Usos and the New Day since 2015. 2 versus 2 only. All matches, singles, multi-man, 6-man tags included as well. 52. 52 matchups between the New Day and the Usos. I can't even fathom that. Jared, thank you for that. I can't fucking, I'm going to say that again. Jared9 Gaming has just gave us another fucking stat here. The stats on all the matches between the Usos and the New Day since 2015 alone. All matches, singles, multi-man, 6-man tag include as well. 52 times. Can I break that down for you? Isn't there only like 52 fucking weeks in a calendar year? Isn't there only 52 weeks in a fucking year? So basically an entire calendar year in the past 6, they faced each other. And a couple more this year. Already. That's a match every week of the year for an entire year. JR9, first of all, thank you for the stats. You know I always love that shit. Secondly, JR9, I'm just blown away by that stat, but something told me it was really bad. If you guys caught my SmackDown review this week, I flipped the fuck out in that cold open, didn't I? Do you know why I flipped the fuck out? Because of JR9's statistic. No, JR9 just confirmed. It's televised. It's not even like these are just house show matches. Televised! And then you wonder why BC flipped the fuck out in that cold open this past Friday, this past Saturday morning. I flipped the fuck out for justified reasons. I can't do the Nusos, the Nusos? The Nusos. That's what it's come to. I'm calling the New Day and the Usos the Nusos. In the Uday. We'll just call them the Uday. Like, ooh, it's the Uday again versus the fucking New Day. This, I can't do it anymore, guys. I said what I said on that SmackDown review, and I'll say it again. I would rather Doudrop and Nia Jax sit on my face than watch another Usos and New Day match. I would rather be tied down by the New World Order and watch every Great Khali match than have to watch another New Day versus Usos match. I can't do it anymore. And if you thought I was just over-exaggerating, JR9 just gave you that fucking stat. It should be mind-blowing to you as well, not just BC. The fucking Nusos. JR9, what a stat, dude. Thank you. Those things always, your numbers always fucking just intrigue the shit out of me. Derek Fleming Jr., 199. Got the 19 from my girl who is back. Shake my head. Yeah. Don't even get me started, bro. It doesn't matter if they got the you-know-what or not, man. They're giving it to people at an alarming rate, so it does not matter. Just be careful. But you already got your top heel in the business telling you that, Derek Fleming. Roman's telling you to be careful. Thanks for coming. We love you guys. Have a good night. The top heel in the business. Good job to break character and totally fucking slam, shatter everything you worked for, Roman. But we needed Roman to give us a hoorah message because Vince failed to build a top star to give those hoorah thanks for coming messages at live events. So now he has nobody else but his fucking top heels. This is so fucking bad, bro. Derek Fleming, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Just do your thing. Nobody can tell you to do anything else, bro. Do what you feel is best for your bod. Because before you can even think about anybody else, you got to think about yourself. All the best to Derek Fleming Jr., man. Speedy recovery. JR9 with a 2 spot, man. JR9's back up in here with 18 matches is the total for 2 versus 2 matches. Oh, so JR9 is saying 2-on-2 up front was 18 alone. Then you add in the singles, the multi-mans, the 6-man tags. You're up to 52 matches. So it was 18, 4, 8, 12, 6, over 4 months worth of just 2-on-2 matches. New Day and Usos. So JR's breaking it down even more. And then you wonder why when BC sees these teams, no sequence is badass to me. Even at the pay-per-view just last week, everyone, wow, what a first match. What a match between the New Day and the Usos. That was match of the night. And BC's like, how can you keep doing this? We know they can put on a good wrestling match because Vince McMahon uses that match as a crutch for the past fucking 10 years, it seems. At what point do you stop saying, good match, and start saying, stop this match? There's no emotion behind this anymore. There's no feud. There's no storyline with the Usos and the New Day. It's just, oh, we're going to get a good match. I could see a great and epic wrestling match every fucking night at the local bingo hall. I don't need to see the same fucking match every week on live television and then the same match on a pay-per-view. That's what we're seeing. JR9, thanks for the clarification. Just mind-numbing numbers, bro. VC Stallion 199. I heard Charlotte is in it as women's champ. Yeah, she's in the Royal Rumble from what I'm hearing. Her goal is to win it, and then she's still going to pick somebody to have her main event title match. So I don't see her winning this thing anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. And if anything, that allows other females to have a one-on-one match. I'm cool with it. Now, if she wins the motherfucker, VC Stallion, then we have to come back to this conversation. VC Stallion, yeah, from what I'm hearing, Charlotte's in the Royal Rumble. I don't think it fucking matters. Alexa Bliss is supposed to be winning it. Patrick Williams, 5 spot. I caught the Triple H screw Triple H vid. Truth bombs throughout the vid. This is why I and the unit respect you. Patrick Williams, I appreciate those words, man, and thank you for checking out that video. That was a very passionate video. There are words that needed to be said. I held back on the Dusty Rhodes talk in that video. I could not do that again in this live stream. And that's why earlier I finally had to talk about Dusty Rhodes being the heartbeat of NXT. It was never Triple H. It was Dusty Rhodes. But thank you for watching that video, and that was just tip of the iceberg. Patrick Williams. I don't have any personal beef with Triple H. I used to love the cerebral assassin character in the Attitude Era. I understand what he helped pro wrestling with, more specifically WWE. I just see a really bad person a lot of the time as well. I see somebody who made one mistake after another. I see somebody who has kissed one too many asses after another. I have seen somebody who threw one too many people under the bus. I just saw some real sketchiness out of Triple H throughout the last several decades. And I have to be the only one in the community to call that out. Patrick Williams, thank you for not only catching the content, thank you for the words, thank you for the coffee, but thank you for comprehending what BC is saying. I truly appreciate that. Patrick Williams. Carlton Bartley, a 20 spot by Carlton Bartley and a 10 spot. So 30 from Carlton Bartley, showing the love to BC in the channel. Carlton says last Saturday's Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill pay-per-view was on fire. I loved it. I was very happy that Mickie James retained the Knockouts World Championship. I'm hoping Vince allows Mickie to use her current theme at the Royal Rumble. I wonder if that was mixed into it, man. It's probably going to be Mickey's old theme, though. The "Hey, Mickie, you're so fine." I don't think Vince is going to allow the new theme. I think he wants that sameness. He wants people to know that that's Vince McMahon's Mickie James. But Carlton, yeah, Hard to Kill from what I saw from it. What a pay-per-view, man. I think they knocked it out of the park. I like what they put in the main event, and I like that Mickie James retained. I mean, this is free publicity now for Impact. Why would you not have this person show up to the Royal fucking Rumble with your championship? So, no offense to Deonna Purrazzo, man, but this had to be Mickie James. And Moose! Everyone just looks solid, man. So, Carlton Bartley, no doubt. Carlton also said, I do think Vince did stumble through the forbidden door with Impact. Laughed my ass off. Moose said last week that he wants to face Roman since WWE and Impact Wrestling have some kind of deal. I talked about that earlier, Carlton Bartley. I just don't think that Vince would do that because I think Vince knows that a lot of his audience, WWE's audience, casual fans especially, they don't know who Moose is. We love Moose. We know Moose's talent. We know Moose and Roman would be awesome. But I don't think that's the person to go through the forbidden door. Could be wrong. It'd be cool if I'm wrong. Unfortunately, Carlton, I'm hearing that Braun Strowman is going to be the men's forbidden door participant. I'm really hoping we're wrong there, man. I don't even have a problem with Braun. I just know that Vince doesn't know how to book Braun. Braun should have been a beast. Booked properly. You look at Braun Strowman, you can't fuck him up. Look at him in the Wyatt family. You're thinking he'll never be fucked up. You can't. Even if you try, you ain't gonna fuck him up. Vince found many ways, including making him a human choo-choo train. He made Braun a human choo-choo train. But I'm hearing it's not Moose, it's going to be Braun. We don't know, dude. But Carlton Bartley, I appreciate all the coffee, man, and all the love. Good to see you up in here, Carlton. Much love, man. Trev Reigns, let me get some water before more coffee here. Trev Reigns, the Tribal God, 5-spot coffee. You guys are on fucking fire, bro. I gave you guys a half an hour notice that I was coming out with a Monday morning, Monday early afternoon live stream. Out of the blue, hundreds throughout the son of a bitch live joined. Thousands will be tuning in, and within the next 24 hours, you guys are fucking bomb, bro. Anyway, back to Trev Reigns, the Tribal God, 5-spot coffee. The ones that reported Seth Rollins beating Roman was Dave Melty Boy. I seriously can't stand his constant lies and BS statements. Yeah, I didn't know that was Melty Boy, but it sounds like something he would report. There's no way Rollins can beat Roman Reigns. There's not a fucking way imaginable that this whole title reign from Roman was just to lose it to Seth Rollins. And on top of that, this has been thrusted so erratically, hot-shotted this match between Rollins and Roman, just like Bob Lashley and Brock Lesnar, hot-shotted to a point where I don't even know how people can even care about these matches. So there's no real care anyway. They're being hot-shot booked with only 2 weeks to go, so you can't even build a proper feud. And I'm supposed to believe that Seth Rollins is taking the fucking title? Fuck that shit. Fuck you, Melty Boy, or anybody that wants to report such shit. And fuck you, Vince, if that decision ever was made. Trev Reigns, a Tribal God. Thanks, brother. Hold on, we got some more up in here too, man. Hold on. PB Sillipride, another $4.99. Isn't Roman and Seth two of a dozen superstars that have bashed the fans repeatedly for trying to improve the business? No doubt. Every time we try to help it, Seth Rollins at one point fucking lashed back out at the fans. Roman has always been a company guy, no question. And that's why you see them now in a dastardly heel position in PB Sillipride. That's why BC is totally on board with this. So that's why it boggles my dome piece that this weekend at the live events, they're both turning face, basically. Based on their actions, that's what happened. Roman is giving your top face hoorah speech. Thanks for coming. Good night, everybody. Be careful, be safe. Much love. Good night, everyone. Roman shouldn't be doing that. But Vince has no top face. Vince has put himself into a fucking corner. Backed himself up into that corner. Stuck into a pickle position. But not only does he have Roman do that this weekend, then he has Seth Rollins, his opponent, at the Rumble. He's turning face too by beating up the Usos and then clapping to the audience in applause for applauding him. None of this shit makes sense. And then you flip over to the WWE title. Brock Lesnar was a face. He just turned heel by going back with Paul Heyman. Bobby Lashley was a heel because he's always been with MVP, but now he's playing more of a face. I don't get it. It's stupid. And I'm supposed to care about these matches. PB Silipride, no doubt. Anisar War 199. As always, it's up to the talent to entertain us. Well, you ain't gonna count on anybody fucking else, let me tell you. Vince ain't gonna do it, Anis. Up to the talent to entertain us. And I would ask this, Anis, who the fuck is entertaining us on that talent roster? Who? They're not even being booked properly character-wise. Forget the booking of what they're doing. Forget lack of storylines. Forget lack of feud building. Their characters aren't even in cement. Their characters are turning heel and face every week, it seems. If your fans cannot decide if you're a heel or a face every week, every show you're something different, we saw it for years with people like Nia Jax, Kane, Charlotte Flair, Tamina Snuka, right? These are people that have flipped every week, it seems. The Big Show, every week they were a heel and then a face, a heel and a face. And after a while, you stopped caring about them. Nobody cared about Nia Jax anymore. Nobody cared about Tamina. Unfortunately, nobody even cared about Kane. Nobody cared about Big Show. Nobody. Because they were a face and a heel a million times. Braun Strowman. I could keep going with more and more. You can't keep turning people because you just don't have a clue what you're doing every week. That's what ruined Charlotte Flair. You want to know the biggest thing that ruined Charlotte Flair? It's not her last name. It's not that she plays a pompous fucking queen bitch or whatever the fuck her character is. It's not the fact that she can't wrestle or can't lose her or can't land her moonsault. No, Charlotte Flair's biggest issue is she was booked like utter garbage before anything else. A face and a heel and a face and a heel, and they never knew what to do with Charlotte. And over time, it's the boy that cried wolf story. Over time, people are going to stop believing you. Anis, no doubt, man. Strict Tango, 5 spots. Strict Tango says, BC, I'm disappointed Sasha will miss the Women's Royal Rumble match again. Do you think Rampage should add 1 hour to give more TV time to underutilized wrestlers? Strict Tango, the Sasha Banks thing sucks. Does suck. I want to find out more about it. I hope this didn't ruin something for WrestleMania, like Trish Stratus was supposed to come in as a surprise, and Sasha and Trish were supposed to set something big up for Mania. I hope that's not the case. I hope they take this 6 to 8 weeks and they find something big, something special for Sasha at Mania. Because she was never going to win it anyway. I'm hearing it was always supposed to be Alexa Bliss. And if they were going to call an audible, you would have to think it would be Bayley. So that's what I have to say about Sasha now. I'm going to do some more research on that, see if it is indeed 6 to 8 weeks. As far as giving Rampage another hour, I don't see what that's going to do. Because you can't, hold on, let me see. I don't want to spit on camera, man. I was under the weather for almost 10 fucking days. Still getting over it. I want to be somewhat respectful here, man. Not spit on camera. Spit into my old coffee. Don't worry, guys. I'm not spitting on the floor. But you don't add another hour to Rampage. There's too much Rampage. There's too much AEW television. You can't even fit it on cable. You have Dark. You have Elevation. You have all the YouTube matches. Rampage is only pulling in 600-ish thousand. Adding a second hour on a Friday night is not the way to go. I understand you have 150 people on your roster. You're going to get in another 50 plus this year. But I don't know if adding even more is the thing right now. I mean, if Rampage ever takes off and they're pulling 1 million viewers every Friday night, that's hard to do. But if they're pulling 1 million on a Friday night, then maybe you can start talking about it. But they're far away from that right now. So I do not think that adding an hour is going to help AEW Strict Tango. J499, I think WWE wants to have Roman versus Brock, one of the very few dream matches before they sell. Yeah, the problem with that, though, Jay, is that they've already had that match 78 times. So you're exactly right, and they're going to do that at WrestleMania, no doubt. Now, does that become a triple threat with who? If they both have a title, whoever wins the Rumble gets involved into that match, it's going to be a triple threat. That looks to be where they're heading with all this. I don't think it's actually going to just be a belt for a belt. I think the person that wins the Rumble will be added. And then maybe that person wins both belts. I don't think they're going to be unified, though. I think you would just have to defend both on each brand. Does that make sense? And then eventually you just lose one of the belts on whatever brand that Vince wants that belt staying on the brand. Hope that makes sense. I don't think this is going to be a unified scenario. I think whoever wins the Rumble will be added into that triple threat schmaz. But yeah, you're right, Jay. That's obviously what it's going to be, Roman versus Brock. The problem is you're going to have to build this immaculately because we already saw it 74 fucking times. You got to stop that shit. But Jay, no doubt, that's what Vince wants in order to set up a potential sale. And I'm sure he wants Roman to already be face. Judging by what I saw at the live event, this is like a grooming to turn Roman face already. This is a mistake. This is not going to help Roman, and this is going to be bad for the fans and the company. Trust me. I study this shit, man. Trust me. Enforcer, 2K9, 5-spot coffee. Ooh. Enforcer, 2K9, 5-spot. It's not just Triple H, guys, but it's a lot. Hit Row, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Aleister Black, Andrade, Undisputed Era. Half of the AEW roster came from Triple H's NXT product. Okay, Enforcer 2K9, but that's not Vince's fault. Undisputed Era left. I don't know why you're putting people like, and much love. Thank you for the coffee, and I understand what you're saying, but some of the people, they wanted out, though. Rusev wanted out. He was never a Triple H guy anyway, but so we'll leave him out. Undisputed Era, let's stick with them. They all just left. Bob Fish, maybe. Maybe I'll give you Bob Fish. Adam Cole said, I want out, baby. He was offered the world by World Wrestling Entertainment. But Enforcer 2K9, why are we not talking about that? Why are we not talking about the fat contract that Adam Cole was offered? He was a Triple H guy. Kyle O'Reilly. The door was open for him to stay, he said. Kyle O'Reilly chose to go over there. So Enforcer, I don't know if that's totally fair, bro. And then Enforcer, I mean, what about John Morrison? Triple H hated John Morrison. John Morrison got released. Mickie James had nothing to do with Triple H. Mickie James got released. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, was the top person in WWE sales-wise, merchandise, all of it. TV ratings. Had nothing to do with Triple H. Bray Wyatt was released. Now, Enforcer, of course, most of the talent is going to come from NXT. That was the developmental brand still, in a weird way. So, of course, most of the talent will be them, like the Karrion Krosses, the Keith Lees. You brought up Hit Row, Andrade. You can come up with a bunch. But that's not a vendetta against his son-in-law. Because there's a host of motherfuckers that had nothing to do with Triple H. I just went over a bunch of names. I'm just saying, we got to be fair about it. We can't just come up with our own narrative and go, well, they're mostly Triple H guys, and that's why this is being done. It's just not a narrative that I'm going to support. I understand it's a great talking point, and it may look that way, right? But for good reason. That's what NXT, it was always a developmental brand, and what happened was it just took on a whole nother fucking life that it couldn't sustain. It could not sustain that type of life. And Triple H talked a lot of shit, talked about pissant t-shirt companies, talked about how he's going to beat Tony Khan, talked about how he's going to bring in these awesome numbers if he just does X, Y, and Z, if USA Network allows him this and this and this. And he couldn't back up his shit. And Triple H failed miserably. That's what happened. You know, and whether they were going to do something with Undisputed Era or not, I agree, they probably weren't. But they were not released. Let's not act like Undisputed Era was released. Adam Cole was offered a fat contract, but I thought that was a Triple H person. I have a vendetta against my son-in-law, but I want to keep some of them. Yeah, I like the little one there, Adam Cole, baby. No, if anything, Triple H is going to get rid of the smallest ones. No. They saw value. I understand the optics, guys. I know it looks like it was all just Triple H's people, but I just gave you a list of names, top of my dome piece, that had nothing to do with Triple H, and they got released. Mind-boggling names like Morrison, James, and Wyatt. Adam Cole just walks away. I understand that it's a fun narrative to say that, right? These are all Triple H people. I don't know where this narrative is coming from. That's where most of the talent comes from the main roster. That's the developmental. Of course it's going to be Triple H's people. What we need is Triple H to stand the fuck up and say, stop it. He never did that. Instead, he just came back to work. After all the dirt was done, everybody was done filthy, supposedly. Now Triple H is coming back to work. So if you want to play the narrative and the violin that this is all Triple H people that are getting released, it's not. I just proved that a lot of people that had nothing to do with Triple H's NXT, they also got released. Let's not act like this is a Triple H thing. This is not a personal vendetta against Vince's son-in-law. Meanwhile, we heard about the big Christmas dinner that Stephanie had with Vince and Triple H, and they were all smiling and everybody was happy. And Triple H came back to work this week, had his first interview, talking about how great WWE is. He's coming back to NXT next month. But you want me to believe that this is just a vendetta. It's a vendetta against Triple. Come on, bro. So Enforcer. I think that was Enforcer 2K. I got you, bro. I know how it seems. But they're just not all WWE guys. In Undisputed Era, most of them, they asked to get the fuck out. Adam Cole was offered a contract. Kyle O'Reilly was wanted to stay there. Roddy Strong, we know where he's at right now. So I don't know if we could put UE in there, man. Only one dude, I think, was released. That was Bob Fish. Just saying, man. But thank you for the coffee, man. I do hear you, bro. I'm not going to play a violin for Triple H ever, man. He is, as that comment says right there, Department of. Triple H is a corporate yes man through and through. He's always going to be. But there's no dastardly deed being done to Triple H because Vince McMahon, the father-in-law, has some grudge against him. It's just not the case. Nick Khan was hired to do something drastic, totally restructure WWE as a whole, and then put a fucking bow on top with a cherry. And that's what Nick Khan is going to do. That's what he was hired to do, man. This is not a personal vendetta against H. Mike Hawk, $9.99. Mike Hawk says, rumors going out that WWE could use the Forbidden Door for a men's Rumble appearance. Any truth to it? I don't know, Mike. I heard about that right before I went live. And people are thinking it's Moose, but because Moose put that on social that he wants to take on Roman, alluded to it. But a lot of WWE audience and casuals, you know damn well Mike Hawk are not going to know who Moose is, unfortunately. So I don't think it's going to be him. I was hearing originally that Braun Strowman was being brought in. Now, he's been doing much other work with other promotions. That could be the Forbidden Door entrance that we're hearing about. And a lot of people are hearing Braun Strowman. No, that's okay. But I don't know, man. I don't know, Mike Hawk. We got to see if there's any truth to that. It's not going to be anybody like that we've never seen before. Vince would not do that, I don't think. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing, the same as you, dude. And I'm hearing Braun Strowman's name being ran around. Haley Lucas, 2-spot. Haley, hey BC at work, just dropping by to say hey. Haley Lucas, much love. Good to see you up in here. Hopefully you're kicking ass at work, Haley. Good to see you up in here. I don't know how much you've caught, but this will be up on the channel later. So always good to see Haley Lucas. Bakayuka, 2-spot. Best match for me is Josh Alexander versus Jonah. Best match or feud, Bakayuka? Because before we were talking about best feuds. But yeah, match-wise, that's always going to captivate, man. You don't need to see it 100 times in a year like fucking Usos and New Day. But that's a good one, Bakayuka. Blitzball Champ, what up, dude? Blitzball Champ, could you a 10-spot? Could you imagine if we had Keith Lee versus Moose? That I would look forward to more than Moose versus Roman Reigns, Blitzball Champ. That intrigues me a lot more, actually. A lot more, bro. So that maybe I'd be down with. Keith Lee versus Moose. I'm just seeing the chemistry be a lot better with that shit. Enforcer 2K9, 10-spot. Enforcer 2K9 says, my point is that for every one non-Triple H guy you bring up, I can bring up 2 Triple H guys that were never used prominently. And they wanted to change Adam Cole's name and make him just a manager for Keith Lee. That is not true. That has already been said to be not true in Enforcer. I don't know why that's being brought up. That is not true. He was never supposed to be a manager for Keith Lee. Adam Cole himself has said he doesn't know where that came from. And then Adam Cole had fun with it later. So that's not true. And they did offer him big money to stay. My point is, of course, there's for every one name that got released, of course there's 2 Triple H guys. He was the developmental. I don't know how much to say this, how many times I can say this. Guys, I need you to work with me here. Please understand what I am saying. Most of the main roster talent is going to come from NXT. The point of it, before it was even a separate brand, was that's where the developmental is. So the majority of your superstars going to the main roster is going to be from NXT. Are you with me so far? Are you with me? Okay, so that is why it's going to seem like every one name that I bring, we can bring up 2 NXT people. It's because that's how it was formatted. It was formatted that way. Oh my God, I don't understand how else to say it. Where do you think these people were coming from? Impact? The local bingo hall? The local Starbucks? They were plucking baristas? You think they were going into Costco or Target or Walmart or the dollar store and they were trying to find wrestlers? They were coming from NXT. Now, I'm totally with you. I wish they were used more properly, just like John Morrison, just like Mickie James, just like Bray Wyatt. I wish. But the names that I'm naming had nothing to do with Triple H, and they were still given the fucking shovel right out of the company. John Morrison was dressed up like a fucking bunny rabbit. John Morrison was doing yoga. John Morrison was having water gun fights. John Morrison has nothing to do with Triple H. I get it. We can play the narrative of, oh, it's all Triple H people. No, because you could also say it's all Dusty Rhodes people. You could say that this is NXT people. Because it's NXT people. That's the developmental. That's the developmental. So most of the releases will be developmental. Most of the releases will be NXT. And then we can all play a violin for Triple H in videos, and we can make pretend that Triple H is the victim. When Triple H himself is back to work this week and refuses to say that what Vince is doing is wrong. But you think I'm gonna fucking step up and say Triple H is being done filthy? Nah. I hope we're all on the same page now. Enforcer, 2K9, much love and respect, but damn, this is not a vendetta against Triple H. I don't know any other way to say it. I don't think Triple H knows any other way to say this. Triple H is begging that you guys understand that he's not going to turn on Vince. So all we have is speculation that Triple H is so in the doghouse. But he's not. Derek Fleming Jr., 199. BC, who do you guys face in the NFC Championship? Well, we have the bye week. So Derek Fleming Jr., I'm going with, it's going to be Tampa Bay. And then I don't know if we can beat Tampa Bay. We have the best record in the league, one of them. We lost against D-fucking Detroit because Rodgers didn't play, I understand. But I don't give a fuck if it's Jordan Love. I don't give a fuck if Hornswoggle is our starting quarterback. We should have beat Detroit. There's no excuse not to beat Detroit. The worst team in the fucking league. I've just seen holes in our game. I don't think we're a complete team. And if Tampa Bay comes into Green Bay for the championship, I don't know if we can beat them. Just like last year, we might lose. So I think it's going to be Tampa Bay. And I don't even want to think about that right now because that's a scary image. So Derek Fleming Jr., I don't know, man. Everybody thinks Green Bay is sitting pretty because we have the bye week. We're the #1 seed. The Super Bowl goes through the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. I don't think we're sitting pretty at all. Look at how we fucking played Sunday. I don't give a fuck if our starters weren't in there. That's Detroit. Look at how we played all year. Anyway, Derek Fleming Jr. That's how I feel about my Packers, brah. I think I got everybody somehow. I don't know how. If I missed anybody, I'll get you in the next stream. But I think I got basically everybody, guys. We went almost 3 fucking hours 2 hours and 45 minutes plus. I was going to go live again later on for the first hour of Raw and do a live reaction. I still might, but I got things to do, man. I mean, I can't believe that shit. But we went a long motherfucking time, bro. But I want to thank all you guys, dude. You guys are the fucking best. Oh, hold on. Enforcer, I got... Oh, hold on. Yeah, Derek Fleming Jr., I got. Enforcer, I got you. Hold on, man. It's going too fast. Enforcer 2K9, I got you. 5-spot coffee. With how devoid of stars WWE is right now, can you honestly tell me WWE couldn't use those guys? Triple H made characters that WWE didn't allow to get over. I know, Enforcer. What do you... Enforcer, I preach this every fucking video, man. I know. Enforcer, what is happening? You're one of my tried and trues. You're forgetting all my past videos. Of course it pisses me off. Of course. You heard my fucking Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Mia Yim videos. Of course it pisses me off. My point is it has nothing to do with H. John Morrison was a bunny rabbit shooting water guns and doing yoga, and he still got released. Mickie James was playing jobber to everybody. Bray Wyatt could not win on the biggest of fucking stages, even though the character screamed larger than life. They had nothing to do with Triple H. So, Enforcer, I don't understand what you want me to say. I'm not going to agree with you. This is not a vendetta against Triple H. He has most of the people. Most of them, because it was developmental. It's developmental. Most people are going to come from there. Vince's MO is to destroy everybody. Vince strips everybody down. Vince does not use you to your full potential. Most people came from NXT. That doesn't mean I put Triple H on a pedestal and say, poor Triple H, all of his children got misused, and he never even stood up for his fucking children. I don't know what you want to get from me word-wise. It ain't going to happen, Enforcer. I don't know any other way to say this. You're trying to act like Triple H is the victim here. That he was done more filthy than anyone else. But yet Triple H himself refuses to agree with you. So there's no way I can. That's it. That's it. I'm not playing a violin for Triple H. I refuse to have anything like that on this channel. Because you can't talk about it. It's not factual, and I like to stick to facts. Facts only on this channel. Triple H ain't no victim. Much love to all you guys, brah. Every single one of you. KC Canada. Jennifer Pierce was up in this motherfucker. James Shrimp Fajitas. Sir Charles. Z2K. Mike Hawk. War Dog. NJPW Girl. And first of all, you guys understand me, correct? You guys got me, right? Why I'm not playing the violin? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Much love. You guys rock. Thank you. And Enforcer, my tried and true, much love to you too, man. Good conversation. I get what you're saying. I hope you understand that I get it. But you're saying basically that the people that feel that way about Triple H, it's justified. It's not. It's literally not. Triple H himself has told you, don't play me the violin. But for some reason, you guys want to play him the violin. And when BC drops fact after fact, you just want to keep going back to, well, most of them were from developmental. Yeah, it's developmental. Thank you guys for understanding. You guys are the best. Marie, JR9, Carlos, and that 100 banger bomb earlier, brah. You fucking rock. Enforcer 2K9, 5-spot, agree to disagree. All I'm saying is there's some merit to the anti-Triple H argument. No, there's not. Sorry, not sorry, bro. I can be nice for so long and much love and respect, but I can't. I'm not going to allow me to bring down my level. It's not going to happen. There's no merit at all. I said so. Sorry, not sorry, dude. I can't allow that on the channel. Much love, guys. Pimp Jesus, Carlos, as I said, NJPW Girl, Lude Gus, Wicked Bunny, Trev Range, Janelle Layton, Iron Riaz was up in this motherfucker. Salute. Damonte, you know how I roll, Damonte. I got James up in here, Carlton Barely, Sontivia Major was up in here, Jay Bates, man. Much love to all you guys, dude. I got to go, dude. This went almost 3 fucking hours, brah. This went over 3 fucking hours. War Dog! Chilling with Charlie Grin. Much love, dude. Oh, you guys are the best. What a 3 hours, dude. We talked about everything and anything. I don't even care if I missed a couple of fucking meetings. They'll be fine. I'll get to it now. This was way more important. Much love, guys. I'm out. Check you. Hey, maybe tonight. You'll never know. I would love to catch the first hour of Raw live reaction with you. We'll see, man. Check you guys.